Have you got your popcorn ready? Yeah, Salt's reached out to me when he had the idea to make this video. Oh, I'm so keen. I got 1 sub from being linked in the comments. I've got like 100 followers. All right. This is going to be a trip down memory lane. Here we go.
The Simpsons Hit and Run, a classic game that defined a generation.
30 minutes into my video, 30 minutes into the video and you decided to check out my channel, welcome to the stream, mate.
Today.
You want it louder? Hang on, okay, I can make it louder.
Hit.
Oh, that might be too loud, fuck.
Hit and Run has an active speedrunning community. A group of gamers who push the game to its limit, trying to beat it as fast as humanly possible.
Perfect, alright, lovely.
This isn't Mario 64 or Super Metroid.
I gotta say, I know Salt has like a history of doing Nintendo stuff, but I think that like, I'm so glad he chose to do Hit and Run. Like, he could have done like Rack or, I'm trying to think of other, like Spyro or any other PlayStation run, but the fact that he did Hit and Run makes me so happy. Not just because like, you know, it's my game, but also the fact that it's like really broadly reaching. Press subtitles. Just watch the video. I want to pause and talk over it.
But Hit and Run is its own
Dude, why are subtitles so huge?
Speedrunners have poured thousands of hours into breaking it. And the result 20 years later is a shockingly deep speedrun. This is the story of how we got there.
I'm gonna be pausing and talking over it just because like I have stuff to like talk about. I know that it's like probably a little bit not smooth, but I'm just gonna just let you guys know, okay? So during the production of this, Souls had a problem, and his problem was there's too much to cover. He said that this game had so much stuff that was possible to talk about that it was impossible to talk about everything. This video scratches maybe 30-40% of how deep this game is. It's kind of insane.
This is the history of the Simpsons.
Get ready for the drop.
World records.
Yes, the iconic Salt music. Why am I playing for premium? So I don't get ads. Okay, chat, is it morally wrong that I'm not watching the sponsor? Should I, like, go and watch the sponsor? You know, I feel like I should watch the sponsor. Hang on a second.
Sponsor.
Right.
Displate.
Well,
Displates are metal posters that are super easy to hang on your wall. I personally
it's
own
actually
kind
of cool. Wait, what?
There
I haven't seen these. This is usually a sponsor I haven't seen before. I haven't seen
including
this sponsor
many
before.
from your favorite gaming franchises. But the best part is how easy they are. If you're worried about having to drill holes,
I've never seen Displate before.
Solves that problem. They use a magnet.
That's actually kind of sick. What the fuck?
No trace on the wall. If you get tired of one poster, simply swap it out for another in seconds.
Swear to God, I'm not sponsored by Displate. I've never seen this before, and this is actually kind of cool.
Displates stay
I've never seen Displate. I have a sponsor block. Usually it skips it.
Your room, I'd recommend getting a few Displates.
I'm not sponsored.
Use
I'm not
my
being
link in the
paid.
description,
That actually just seems kind of cool.
Use the promo code Summoning Salt for up to 37% off upon checkout. Thanks again to Displate for sponsoring this video.
Flashbang, Jesus. All right, just so you all know, I've turned, because I want everyone to be able to watch it, I've turned ads way down this stream to the minimum so they don't get pre-rolls. So, plebs won't have ads for during this section. I'll turn it back up later, just so you know. All right, here we go. I'm so glad he went with the joke titles. They're so funny.
The main hub for speedrunning is a website called
Because it's so true.
And over on the forums, a group of site members are discussing how to speedrun a relatively new game, The Simpsons Hit and Run. However, the conversation ultimately goes nowhere.
So Matrix TN is a extremely prominent person in early hit and run development on Speed Demos Archive. Speed Demos are like he basically like routed everything up until level 6 from very early on. It's kind of awesome. That guy really did a lot. I have no idea where Matrix TN is now. He did Kingdom Hearts stuff as well.
Speedrunning the game, and every time they're told it simply wouldn't be a good
It's
game
so
to
funny.
speedrun.
This game
So,
started out
why?
as like, this game
Well,
fucking
forum
sucks.
goers in the mid-2000s identified 3 main problems.
I've done
The
a
first
shitload
problem,
of research on
actually
Hit
thought
Run's
the
history.
game
I
was
was
too hard.
able to link Salt so
Now,
much
that's
stuff.
not
It helped
totally
speed up
unfounded.
process a lot, luckily.
Simpsons Hit and Run has 7 levels.
I
and
was
each level has
born
7
when this game
missions to
released.
complete. Missions in the first few levels are pretty easy, but the last
It
few
does still
levels
suck to
do
run, it's
have
true.
some
We
very
should've
tough missions.
listened.
If you've played Simpsons Hit and Run, you probably
True.
remember the infamous missions Never
Turn
Trust
salt
a
up. You
Snake
want it louder?
and Set to Kill. You also need to
Okay, I'll
complete
turn it up a bit more.
objectives under a time limit. Any slowdowns and you run out of time. You also need to avoid hit and runs. If you run into too many
you're gonna
objects
yap,
or
then pause it,
pedestrians,
okay?
the police
That's
come
what I'm
after
doing.
you, potentially slowing you down and taking some of your coins. Speaking of, that
You
was
guys
the
get angry
second
if I
main
talk,
problem.
I get angry if I don't
Coins.
talk.
You must collect 3,625 of them to unlock everything needed to beat the game.
That's
They're
true.
scattered all across the levels in
No, so
boxes,
I didn't like
machines,
subtitles. I didn't like
wasps,
subtitles.
and other places. You have to go out of your way to collect enough of them, severely slowing down a speedrun.
So, oh god, I was
So,
about to pause.
reasons The Simpsons hit
Let me pause. Okay. So the reason you want to know why I never got around to making a video like this is because Salt has a really good knack for explaining things that are easy to understand. I have a really good knack of explaining things in so much depth that no one other than the most interested individual will understand what the fuck I'm talking about. I talk, so like Salt, like with the coins thing, he's like, you need 3,625 coins to be able to buy everything in the game. I would have been like, you need 3,625 coins to buy everything in the game because boxes drop 31, wasps drop 25, vending machines drop 16, Krusty Glass drops 5, blah blah blah. So I'm really bad at doing that.
Hit and Run is a
And
bad
everyone's
speed
like,
game.
what the fuck is he
There
going
are
on
too many
about?
coins, the game is too hard, and the game is too easy.
Fuck, this video is
if
good.
you fail a mission 7 times, Hit and Run gives you the option to skip it and move on to the next one. So, for
80%.
3/4 of the game's missions, it's faster to just restart over and over and skip the mission, rather than actually playing it.
80%.
That would make an 80% speedrun quite easy, and exceedingly boring. Because of all
80%
this,
still sucks.
speedrunners
It's so
ignored
bad.
Simpsons Hit and Run for years. New forum threads would pop up and fizzle out without much attention. But speedrunning kept growing over the years. More people got into the hobby, and those runners looked for new games to run.
Before we get into the first person, chat, I want you all to know there's potentially a lot of new people here. Don't make the joke. Okay, no, don't make the joke, all right?
And finally, in 2012, nearly a decade after its initial release, the first speedruns of The Simpsons Hit and Run were performed. A few runners played straight up any percent, where you were allowed to restart and skip missions. This led to some fairly boring runs, but there were still very talented
There's
players.
gonna be Duke Bilgewater.
Duke Bilgewater and Neke for president.
I wasn't
completed
around
the
when Duke
first
was
any
running.
percent.
He's like probably the only old school runner that I never got to see actually do a run, which is really, really disappointing because do you want to? Shah got rejected from GDQ for so long because I'm pretty sure I might be wrong, and I really apologize to Duke if I'm wrong, but I think that he kicked someone's console at the GDQ so he'd win the race. Or is that at NASA? Which is really, really funny. Like, actual legend. Oh, is that at NASA? That might have been at NASA. That was so funny.
That runs of Hit and Run. But then, another more popular category began to form. The rule set for
Oh,
this category
story
was that you
missions.
had to complete all
No,
49
sadly
story
did,
missions without
GDQ
skipping
run
any.
first.
To this day, it remains the most popular category of The Simpsons Hit and Run.
Dude, how much
And
more
it's called-
popular? How much more popular is ASM compared to all the others? It's like 3 times the amount of runners. It's kind of insane.
All story missions. Early runs were performed by runners Finja29 and Cookie. No videos of their world records survive, but they got times clocking in around 2 hours.
I remember when Cookies was actually like thought to be the first run, and then I think I found Finja, like a Finja run from like 2 years prior to Cookies or something like that, and like everyone was like, "Wait, what?" I think that's how it went, something like that.
World records survive, but they got times clocking in around 2 hours. The early hit and run community kept track of their times on a Google spreadsheet. Runners would simply post their fastest times to the board.
Wrong.
It was a small and tight-knit community.
Fuck, these are old.
And it's from this early community that we get our first world record of surviving video. The Simpsons Hit and Run in 1 hour and 54 minutes by Pessimistic Mango. Hit and Run is one of the most technical games I've ever covered on this channel. And it all started with the coin route. Mango had to find the best way to collect over 3,600 coins without wasting too much time. Certain missions had downtime built into them. For example, if he just had to follow a car around the map, he could drive around and collect coins himself, while making sure he stayed close enough to the car.
So, Mango's run is so iconic, man. It's like, it is so iconic as the first run. Like, his first run is like basically what got Saiyans into speedrunning, and then Saiyans showed me the run. And I was like, damn, that's fucking cool.
But even on the other missions,
thank you for redeeming Mango. Thank you, guys.
And tried to do it whenever he happened to be near some. It was a balancing act, but he mapped his coin route out across the entire game.
He's no longer a degenerate
Then there's the tricks. Hit and Run has a lot of them. Some are quite basic, like mission warps. After finishing a mission, the game usually tells you to drive somewhere to begin the next one. But instead, by going to the menu after mission complete appears on the screen, you can select the next mission and warp there straight away.
I love it when you push up
Another basic
to go to the bottom mission and it doesn't register, you go to the first mission
You can
instead.
reset your car at any time and it'll warp to the nearest main road. This can move you ahead a bit on the map, or just get you back on track quicker. That's the easy stuff. They're second nature to hit and run speedrunners. But Mango's run also had some sophisticated tricks, like Carl Skip. In the 7th mission of level 1.
Oh, it's so funny. We love Carl Skip. So, yeah, Carl Skip is so old. That's like 2006. It's kind of insane. I learned here from that video, Gold. Welcome to the stream, man. Yeah, Salt really outdone himself on this one. It's so good. I haven't watched the whole thing. I got to watch it in segments, but I haven't watched the whole thing in one sitting yet. Take notes. It could be good for your speedruns. What do you mean? My speedruns are okay.
1 or 1-7, you're supposed to race Smithers to Mr. Burns' mansion.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
The intended route is to drive all the way around the map, but if you instead push Carl with your car past the power plant door and then talk to him to initiate the race, the power plant door closes with you already past it. So, you can just quickly drive through the power plant to the mansion and save about a minute on the speedrun. Other important parts of Mango's run
it used to be that you would push Carl past the door and then talk to him. The reset wasn't known. It's so... Like, you could also kick him, although you could kick him and then go get the car from the phone booth. That was an alternative one. I think another one that was originally found is you drive your car to halfway through the door where the door spawns, and then you run over, talk to Carl, and then your car is already in the middle of it. So I think the driving over was the fastest one, driving over Carl.
Destruction missions. There's several of these throughout the game. You have to destroy a car or multiple cars as quickly as you can by running into it over and over. Mango had some clever strategies for dealing damage quickly. In 6-5, where he had to destroy Skinner's car, he directed it against the wall and another car. It got stuck, and he was able to ram it over and over.
Just to make it very clear, the fact that it got stuck like this is literally pure luck. Like, that is... like it's just extreme luck. That's not actually a strat. It's a good illustration of what he did, and Salt did a good job of explaining it. But the fact that he got stuck like that is literally luck, and it's really funny. You want to see it again?
Another where he had to destroy Skinner's
normally
car,
when he'd hit the
he
wall,
directed
he
it
just
against the
off,
wall,
but sometimes
and another
the AI in this game breaks and he'll just get stuck on the wall. That's what happens with like armored trucks sometimes. There's certain types of walls where the cars will get stuck on and they won't move until they're hit in a very particular way.
It got stuck, and he was able to ram it over and over. But not all destruction missions went smoothly. In 1-3, for instance, he spent a lot of time trying to chase Smithers' car down and damage it. And finally, while Mango was a fantastic player, The Simpsons Hit and Run is still a hard game, especially at the end. In level 7, you have to deliver nuclear waste all the way across the map without accidentally blowing it up. In 7-5, a car swerved in front of Mango and blew up the waste, making him restart the mission. And in 7-7...
Thanks 100 bits. I watched you choke so much in this video, I had to check which side I was on.
He just grazed the edge of a tree, but it was enough to blow up the waste again, losing another chunk of time. And that was the run. An hour and 54 minutes later, Mango had beaten the game.
This is such a weird live split layout. Like, when it's not very intuitive. When, like, I always thought about it. It's not very intuitive when you look at it. Like, I get it once I like look at it, but it's the two comparisons between the two, and I don't know how he did it. Honestly, what do you mean better than mine? I almost finished watching this video, but I might as well join the Australian restream. Hi from New Zealand.
The run. An hour and 54 minutes later,
Mango
had beaten the game. It had its shortcomings, but overall, this was a great starting point.
Now using a sensible resolution to keep track of my times, this run came after playing around with different routing ideas. Lucky from Cookies P. I'm pretty happy with the coin route. There's still a bunch to be improved. The biggest letdowns, yeah. It was all
hit and run speed
expected to be of the first
Mango
run.
knew he could do better, and he'd go on to lower the record a few more times in the following days, sadly not saving any of the videos.
Classic
Finally,
hit and run.
On May
Classic
29th,
hit and run
he got a run he was happy
video.
enough with to save. 1 hour and 50 minutes.
Nearly
It was a greatly cleaned up version of his hour 54 run.
Stop posting the Mango
Nearly every level was faster. He got better at destroying vehicles quickly.
Just so hang on, I'll go back a little bit just so I'm not talking over Salt. I'll keep doing that. Just so you all know, 2014, I was speedrunning Kingdom Hearts at this point. I didn't start off with Shah. I started off with Kingdom Hearts. So I was not even playing this game. I was streaming, but I wasn't playing this game.
Nearly every level was faster.
I should have stayed with
He got better at destroying vehicles quickly, and once again he had some brilliant strategies here. For instance, in 3-7, why destroy the limo yourself when you could get it stuck so it destroyed itself while you picked up coins?
You know what's really funny about this particular strat? This strat is actually slower, even with the coins accounted for. Like, it is faster. I think if you destroy the limo before you get around the corner of Burns's casino, where you start sleuthing, if you destroy a limo before that, and then you go, then it's slower to do this strat. It's genius. It's a absolute brilliant strat, but it was slower.
Mango's level 7 was cleaner too, blowing up the waste only once. But he had one notable time loss.
Here it comes.
He missed a big trick that we haven't talked about yet.
Oh, it hurts.
The cutscene
every time. It hurts. Fucking
The Simpsons.
Salt's music choice is so good in this video. Like, oh my god, it goes so hard.
The Simpsons Hit and Run has a handful of cutscenes. They play after certain missions, and there's no option to skip them. You have to watch them. Except, there's a trick you can do on 3 of the cutscenes. The ones after level 2, level 5, and level 6. After mission complete fades out, if you pause the game in a small window just before the cutscene starts, you can select the next mission and skip the cutscene.
Yes! I know this trick. What do you mean does Liquid know this trick?
Entirely. You have a 9-frame window to skip the level 2 cutscene and a 16-frame window for levels 5 and 6.
I didn't know it was
That's
different.
between a
for the
20th of a
cutscenes.
second and a quarter of a second, depending on your frame rate.
Know why you got a Summoning Salt video made about you? I've known about this for so long. I had to keep it from chat, and it was so difficult to not talk about it with you guys. It was so difficult to not talk about it on stream. That was like one of the hardest fucking things I've had to keep from chat. It's so difficult. How long? I talked about it earlier. Salt approached me. Actually, I probably have the DMs from Salt. Where is... Alright, Salt originally messaged me. He messaged me March 2023. So I've actually nearly known about it for 2 years. He's like, hey, I want to make a hit and run video. Do you think it would be interesting? I said, I think that's awesome. Hit and run is one of the most interesting... has some of the most interesting strat developments I've ever seen. Any percent would suck. And the main thing that sucks is how long I have had world record for. Which, by the way, I think he handled so well in this video. Well, we'll get to that. So yeah, I've known since March 2023 that he has had interest. And then he messages me in July of this year saying, hey, I want to make that Shah video. How would I get in contact with you? So, yeah, I had to keep it secret for a very long time. I kept a secret from you guys. I cannot talk.
You can also...
No, I don't know Salt, like, personally, but, like, he approached me, and obviously I'm going to be so stoked to have a video about Shah history made.
repeatedly pause to give yourself a better chance at depending on your frame rate. You can also repeatedly pause to give yourself a better chance at hitting it. So all in all, cutscene skip doesn't seem that bad. But the problem is that it's super punishing if you miss.
It actually
the level
isn't that
6
bad of a trick.
cutscene
That's
lasts
the thing.
45 seconds, the level 2 cutscene lasts 55 seconds, and the level 5 cutscene lasts a whopping 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So
Fuck
there's
off for
added
cutscene
pressure of
skip.
knowing that if you miss one, it's a huge blow to your speedrun. And sure enough, in this run, Mango missed the level 6 cutscene skip.
Cutscene skip.
It was a
like,
45-second
man,
time
that
loss.
shit sucks.
Had he gotten it, it would have been a sub 150. Mango made that his goal time going forward. A run in the 140s. But it wasn't going to be
220,
easy.
what is this, a movie? No, that's 120. 120.
Because Mango wasn't the only player who could get that time. In mid-2014, he got a competitor.
Oh,
Meet
Pet Iguana. I love Iguana.
Mango had reason to be afraid. And not just because iguanas eat mangoes, but because on June 14th,
Fuck, that line's
Iguana got a
funny.
run of 150.08, a new record and just 9 seconds from the sub 150. In true hit-and-run fashion, Iguana didn't highlight his run since he wasn't happy with it.
I've already seen this. I saw it in chunks. Iguana's a legend. I love Iguana. He was always just such a nice dude. I never got to meet him in person, but I had calls with him quite a lot. And he is just like, he's such a lovely guy. Iguana is just such a legend. Yeah, and this live split layout, it gets better, I promise. I promise.
But Mango and Iguana were neck and neck. They both wanted the sub 150, and they were both just seconds away. Who would get there first? On July 4th, 2014, Mango got a good chance. His run started with the fastest level 1 he'd ever performed. The next few levels were up and down, but crucially, he got all 3 cutscene skips, meaning he saved an additional 45 seconds. Mango entered level 7 on pace for a 149.58.
Okay?
It seemed like it was going to be close. But instead, Mango played his fastest ever level 7, and it was a blowout. 148.16.
God damn,
nearly
I
a
remember.
147.
I remember that run.
The middle had its slowdowns, but Mango had started and finished his run incredibly strong.
All these long loads? Yeah, so the reason why, if you compare loads from today to loads from back then, most runners back then, one would either just not use the mod launcher, or two would use the mod launcher. However, SHA loads are exclusively, like, not exclusively, but hugely affected if you have VSync on. So, if you have VSync on, the loads are fast, but the game runs it weird. It's kind of hard to describe. It feels like it runs at lower FPS. However, it doesn't run at low FPS. If you have VSync off, the loads are shit, but the FPS is fine. The middle ground is fast VSync, which gives fast loads and the correct FPS and how it's meant to feel. So it's just like, it's strange. The game is really weird.
The ball was in Iguana's court. Could he compete with a 148? For a few months, he did struggle to beat Mango's run, but by that November, the tides had turned and he felt he had a great chance to pull it off. How come? Well, it all came down to destroying vehicles,
Yeah, this is about the point
where
where we
Iguana
started.
had
So
some new strategies.
Really improving
The armored truck in 5-6 is one of the longest destruction missions in the game. It takes...
This is the single oldest strat that we still use. We have been using this strat for 10 years nearly. And it still fucking sucks. Don't worry, Iguana's live split layout gets better, I promise. Yeah, I feel so old, dude. I'm watching this video, I feel so fucking old, man.
Truck in 5-6 is one of the longest destruction missions in the game. It takes forever to be destroyed, especially
Wow,
with Snake's
thanks,
car,
Larissa.
which isn't adept at dealing damage. It took Mango 2.5 minutes to destroy it in his 148,
So shit.
but here's
So
what
bad.
Iguana did. He guided it off the road so it got stuck against the pillar.
Okay, you wanna know the lore behind this? I'm gonna blow your guys' mind. Iguana did this by accident. He found this strat by complete accident, and he saved so much time, and it was just used from there on. You can kind of tell with how he did it. Like,
He guided it.
look at that. Normally we push it off this pillar, so normally we go all the way out. I actually wonder, it probably wouldn't be consistent to actually pull off, because I feel like that the armored truck would probably turn really sharply, but normally we hit this pillar, but he hit this wall instead, so he found it by accident, and then we were just like, wait a minute, we can use this.
it off the road so it got stuck against the pillar. It then damaged itself over time as it tried to escape.
You can kind of tell,
Iguana
he's not driving
destroyed
off or
it in
anything.
under a
Although I
minute.
guess he wouldn't have thought of that
The
back
armored
then.
truck strat would become one of the most pivotal strategies in the entire run.
Lost my last
Miss
2
it,
runs
and
to
you
it, I'm
have
so
a
sad.
big time loss. Another fast destruction strategy was in 1-3. Iguana steered Smithers'
this
car
strat.
into a house, then repeatedly hit it while stuck to destroy it quickly. A solid time save over Mango chasing the car down.
That's old.
But perhaps my favorite new strategy was in 4-7.
This is me! I found this! I found this! This is my one! Ready for it?
Here, you have to escape Chief Wiggum by getting far enough away from him. But instead of driving far, Iguana just went inside the Simpsons house. And the mission ended, saving him 10+ seconds.
That's my strat. I did that on my very first run of Hit and Run. And Mango, Iguana, Zoton, LP3, and a bunch of other people were watching my stream, and they were like, you can just go into the Simpsons house? It was really, really funny. It said Iguana did? No. It didn't say he found it. It said he didn't.
Mango chasing the car down. But perhaps my favorite new strategy
even mention
was in
you, Dan. I think I'll be mentioned maybe once or twice later on in this video.
4-7. Here, you have to escape Chief Wiggum by getting far enough away from him. But instead of driving far, Iguana just went inside the Simpsons house.
He found it.
And the mission ended, saving him 10 plus seconds. This works because the inside of the house is located very far away from the rest of the map.
It's like,
so the game detects that you've escaped Wiggum and just ends the mission.
So easy.
Thanks to these new strategies, on November 17th, Iguana was able to pull 2 minutes ahead of the record going into level 7.
What is this live split layout? Like, plus 110? I don't know, I can't...
But he wasn't out of the woods yet. Remember, he was up against Mango's
All
gold
live
split
split layouts
here,
were something different.
and he was 100 coins shy, meaning he'd have to pick up extra coins before buying the zombie car. Despite a big lead, this was going to be close. And most importantly, Iguana had to avoid blowing up the waist.
What's up, brother?
I think I have that on my picture.
Oh, that was close. I definitely thought that blew up.
And what's more,
remember watching
both
that. Fuck.
Chat and his roommates were heckling him.
I'm gonna laugh so hard at you when you go once.
Well, we have no idea what time this is.
It's like you guys. That's you guys. Were you guys his roommates? I think you guys might have been his roommates.
I could not even be close to world record.
That's harder than it is.
Wait, I just want to go back a
close to
second.
world
Oh,
record.
okay. Okay, never mind.
That's harder than it is.
Yeah, we did it! Finally.
Iguana was back, and he didn't stop
Fuck, I
there.
miss Iguana.
A couple
He's such
months
a good
later,
lad. I
he
miss
improved
him.
the record again, down to 1 hour and 45 minutes. The worst part of this run was missing the armored truck strat in 5-6.
Didn't even try.
But he had a much cleaner level 6 and 7, and used a new strategy in 3-3 to let him repeatedly hit Cletus's truck.
Oh, that's when that was found. Okay, that's in 2015. That's pretty cool. I think I might have been running at that point, yeah. What's up Iguana up to now? I believe he's married, but I'm not 100% sure. He may be married, and he just isn't really speedrunning them. Sometimes speedrunners just stop just because I don't feel it anymore. And that's like, it happens quite a lot. Like, it's not that uncommon. Yeah, he got out. We're at 2015 already. Yeah, the first few years, like quite often what would happen is that a lot of the early speedrunners were like in college or in university or whatever, and they would speedrun when they had the time, and then obviously focus on the studies and then speedrun when they had the time. So quite often, excuse me, it would just like be broken up. Like, big clump of world record, nothing. Big clump of world record, nothing. So on, so on, so on.
So yeah, Iguana and Mango were just trading this record
Mango got
back
married
and
as well.
forth.
I know that for
The
sure.
game's two best competitors, rivals that would clash for years to come. And maybe they would have if someone else didn't come along.
So who came along? I'm trying to think. Who came along in like 2015-ish? I don't know who that is. Maybe Pelican. Yeah, it might be Vapo. Gaseous. When I saw this, so I saw this earlier, and I thought this was fucking funny, honestly. Like, that is, I'm glad Salt stuck. I'm glad Salt stuck with the funny chapter names, to be honest.
In early 2015, a runner named LiquidWiFi became a record contender.
That's me!
He'd started running the game a few months prior, and by February 2015 had managed to lower his time down to a 148, a bit behind the world record of 145.
Far away from world record.
But
and
on
I was
February
like, fucking,
20th,
I'm never gonna
he
catch up to
shocked
these
the hit and run
guys.
community by doing, well, this. Exiting level 3,
Like,
LiquidWiFi
I
was
thought
over a
this run
minute
was just
behind the world
ridiculous.
record. But that was a bit misleading. See, Liquid took a different...
Why aren't you as good as this guy? What do you mean, very ugly live split layout? The splits are great. This is like... Actually, it's pretty fucking generic, honestly. Why is it censoring your splits? So, I believe I had the icons as splits. The mission objectives as icons on the splits, and that could be striked for copyright, and Salt had problems with copyright in the past. There's actually quite a lot of things that get censored in this just because copyright reasons and monetization reasons. Salt spent a long time on this video. I did the same
coin
thing.
route for most other runners. He chose to get more coins early in the run, so he didn't need to pick up as many in the later
Why did I
levels.
get that once?
So he entered level 4 with a coin
Icons
lead
are
and gained
copyrighted, yes.
time
They
by
can be-
not
they
having
can
to
be.
pick up as many.
It's pretty uncommon, but it can be.
He entered level 4 with a
Full screen? You want me to full screen? I can full screen. Oh, God. There we go. Is that better? Yeah, that's a great idea. I don't know why I didn't think to do that.
coin lead and gained time by
Thank you
not
for
having
telling
to
me.
pick up as many. By level 5,
Professional streamer,
he
by the
was nearly
way.
even with the record. And although he too missed the armored truck strat, this was still barely on record pace going into level 7. But the missions started going well. He wasn't
really
blowing up
thought
the
this run
waist,
was
and this looked
cracked.
like it might actually have a chance at record. But then during the
I
last
finished watching the video. As soon as I saw a thumbnail, I knew Liquid would be a huge chunk of the video. Wait, really? Why?
mission, on his way to pick up the
What was my average viewership back then? 2015? I wasn't even a Twitch partner. I think when I got this run, I might have been averaging 30 viewers.
a chance at record. But then during the last mission, on his way to pick up the waist, he triggered a hit and run.
This was
And that was a
terrifying.
problem. See, he still had to pick up the waist, where you effectively corner yourself. If the police caught him there, it was likely run over. Liquid had to find a way to evade capture.
Get ready, get ready, get ready for it. You're gonna hear old me, alright? Are you ready?
Find a way to evade capture.
Holy f, I evaded them. Let's go. This is going to be seconds between me and world record. Oh my god, this is close.
That
This is
is
so close.
18-year-old me. And I'm trying to be quiet because my parents are asleep. I want to pop the fuck off.
Liquid Wi-Fi was the new hit and run record holder.
That video only had 146 views. That's insane. I think my most recent PP has like 20k. Like, that's so long ago, honestly. But yeah, I was trying to be really excited, but also be quiet because I was still living with my parents. That is in fact younger me. I was 18 at this point. Actually, may not have even been 18. I would have been
Liquid
maybe
Wi-Fi
17.
was the new hit and run record holder. It wasn't a huge improvement, but a very strong last couple levels was enough to get it done.
God damn. this
On
is
the
such
other
a trip
hand,
down memory lane,
Iguana
man.
had just lost his record, and he wasn't going to
And I know what
stand
happens
for that.
after this.
So, an hour after he saw his record had been beaten, Iguana booted up the game, started playing, and...
I had world record for like 100 minutes. Oh god, that might be I might have the title. I might have the world record for the shortest world record in hit and run history. I thought that was so funny. Knowing old me, I probably was really, really salty. But now I think that's the funniest thing.
Liquid's record lasted just a few hours.
Yeah, maybe 2
Iguana
hours.
had pushed the run to the next minute, a 1:44.37. Curiously, it was yet another world record that missed the armored truck strat. This time thanks to a car getting in the way.
We also
And
missed
as a
our truck.
whole, it was a very up and down run. He got a few strategies that Liquid missed, like Smithers' car in 1-3, but there were still obvious time saves that he missed
It's
out
so
on.
funny.
Bottom line, Liquid and Iguana both knew they could do better. So they kept playing. Around this time, Liquid began implementing a new piece of tech into his runs. E-brake boosting.
Shit, did I really start putting it in then? I didn't even know it was a thing. Like, I don't know. I don't remember ever discussing it with the Char community. I wonder if it's something. See, like I don't remember ever talking about e-brake boosting with the Char community because I just don't know if it ever came up. Like, it's one of those interesting techs where it's like so small in individual segments, but it adds up so much across the run. It's kind of crazy. How many hours of effort do you put in help Salt? So I actually have done shitloads of research on the hit and run history. I had a full document that was because I was going to make a video a couple years ago, but I didn't know how to handle me. I had like a full document with everything. I was like, mate, here you go. Here's the document. Here's the world record sheet, because we have like a sheet of all the world records with like notable strat improvements. And he was like, that speeds up massively. Thank you. This will be on YouTube, yeah.
Hit and Run has 3 main driving buttons: accelerate, reverse, and e-brake. By holding all 3 at once, then letting go of reverse, and then letting go of e-brake, you get a huge acceleration boost forward. This is particularly useful if you have to hit something over and over. In 3-3, for instance, when you have to hit Cletus's truck to collect 15 items, you can see how e-brake boosting lets you get in more hits over time.
Yeah, so this is a different type of e-brake boosting. There's actually 2 types. There's like, I don't know, we don't really have a name for them. I'm actually trying to think. We don't really have a name for it. You're from YouTube? Welcome to the stream. I just watched this video on YouTube. You can see me fucking on Twitch. I hope you win the record back from the Frenchie. I plan to make this video redundant as soon as I possibly can. Or outdated, not redundant, outdated. Yeah, so there's like 2 different types of e-brake boosting. The first one he mentioned is one to get a shitload of speed in specific cars. And normally, you can actually go above the speed threshold of the top speed of that car that's in the game file. So in the zombie car, which he showed before,
Item in 3
this is done in the zombie car. When you do a brake boost, which is the one he's describing here.
By holding all 3 at once, then letting go of reverse, and then letting go of e-brake, you get a huge acceleration boost forward.
So yeah, in this particular example, this is just a brake boost, and a brake boost has the effect of going way over the top speed. The top speed of the zombie car is 160, I think. And an a brake boost lets you go way above the top speed. I think it goes like 230, and then slowly comes back down, then quickly comes back down. And then the second one...
This is particularly useful if you have to hit something over and over. In 3
This one, you only hold e-brake after you, like, reverse. So it's like you reverse, tap e-brake, or hold e-brake for, like, a half second, and then release it again.
3, for instance,
and it lets you,
when you
get
have
that
to
small
hit
speed
Cletus's truck to collect 15...
And the other thing is you tap e-brake anytime you reset your car, or anytime your car is going forward, or basically anytime you're going from a complete stop to gain more speed quickly.
Items, you can see how e-brake boosting lets you get in more hits over time.
Stop saying I am yapping! This is why I couldn't make a video. This is why it was never possible for me to make a video. Like, you talk too much.
Over the following few months, the big 3 runners would all set new records. In late February, Liquid got a 142.19. In April...
Oh, we gotta listen to that again. Hang on a second. This is actually the same thing. I'm living with my parents and my mother's asleep.
3 runners would all set new records.
What was that?
In late February, Liquid got a 142.19. In April,
I thought that run was so good. I didn't play Hit and Run after I got that run for quite a while.
Mango got a 142.03, and in May, Iguana got a 140.49.
Oh, baby.
These guys were all
Yeah,
about
this is a good
equal
trip
in
down memory
skill,
lane.
and with
I
all
love
three
this
of them
video. This
actively
is so
playing,
good.
the world record was plummeting. Much of the time save came from the margins, rather than actual new strategies. Cleaner driving, faster destructions, that sort of thing. Their overall skill level was rising.
Yeah, at
and
this
nobody
point, the game was kind of just like a couple of new strategies were found, but all three of us were just getting better at the game.
was sure where the ceiling was. So, who would come through next? Well, in November 2015, it was Mango setting a new world record. And this run has an important distinction. It was the first world record with load times removed. See, Hit and Run
load
has
times.
to load in between missions, and this can take a variable amount of time. Depending on how
redeeming
powerful the runner's PC is, this can add up to multiple minutes of difference across the run.
And whether or not they have VSync on.
So, the community created the Load Remover Auto Splitter. It detects when Hit and Run is loading and automatically pauses the timer. So, when Mango beat
How am I-
Iguana's world
How am I adjusting my new life of fame? I'm so rich. I have $1 billion. I have 16 wives. I have 3 mansions, and I still eat KFC every day.
record, it was initially timed as a 140.41, but using loads removed time, it was a 140.05. This run also featured another big new strategy, car despawning. By flicking the camera angle back and then forward, certain objects like cars and pedestrians despawn. This can move things out of your way, or more
Back to full
importantly,
screen? Do I not? I am on full screen, aren't I? Wait, hang on. How did that happen? Oh, what the fuck? I don't know how that happened. Sorry, my
out
bad.
of the way of an AI-controlled vehicle. They'll crash into fewer cars, saving you time on the speedrun overall. Mango's run lasted
How's the
for
video
8
so far?
days when the next
good.
member of the Big Three struck, Iguana, who got a
probably did something.
138.35
Thank you.
and then a 138.03. It was a mix of faster execution and some strategy improvements. He had a new coin route, picking up more coins in level 4 to Skinner's car in Krusty Lou Studios. Destroyed vehicles saved a lot of time
Yeah,
in
that
6
about
dash,
sums up Hit and
up
Run.
about 45 seconds and saved time on the armored truck and the hit and destroy missions were cleaner overall.
Yep.
It's
me trying to route Hundo. Oh god. This game is such an absolute disaster.
exhausting to keep track of everything that was happening, and these guys still weren't at their limits. Since 2014, it had been a 3-way competition between Mango, Iguana,
Get that
and
word off my
Liquid
screen.
for the Simpsons Hit and Run world record. They constantly traded it back and forth among themselves, but nobody else ever broke through to take it from them. They were the 3 best runners of the
beat my
game
142
by
for-
far,
I never
an
got- I never-
exclusive
well,
club
so
at
I
the
did
top
beat my
with
142.
only 3 members.
But
The combination of new strategies being added, with the world record frequently changing hands,
I was
makes
ranking
this
them
a
at this
tough
point.
timeline to follow. But luckily for us, someone was about to come along and simplify things a bit. In mid-2016, a player named
I want to emphasize. Thank you, Stickman, for the raid. It's not Pelican. I want to emphasize, like, Salts did an amazing job talking about it in this video. Croc's influence on the game cannot be understated. Also, I just knocked something off. Hang on a second. Sorry, one moment. Okay. Croc's influence on this game and how much he changed it and how much he revolutionized the entire game cannot be understated. I think that a lot of the things in this game, both in ASM and Hundo and other categories, would not have happened if it weren't for Croc. He cannot be overstated. Cannot be overstated. Sorry, I said it wrong. Cannot be overstated. Sorry. I have absolute mad respect for Croc as a runner, and I think that he had an undeniable positive impact on the game, and I think that if there's anything you should take out of this video, it's that Croc really did make a huge difference.
Robot crocodiles appeared on the scene. He took one look at our 3 world record holders.
He's also Irish, and that's the only thing I know about
and
it.
spat on them.
Wait, hang on, I talked over that.
Crocodiles appeared on the scene. He took one look at our 3 world record holders and spat on them.
I love this graph. Fucking Jesus, look at that. This dude was unbelievable. He was literally, it was so unbelievable. He was just ridiculous when he came along. Hawk Tour, shut up! Shut up! Yeah, he seriously, he changed the game so much. It was just unbelievable.
Over the course of several months, Croc single-handedly took 5 minutes off the hit and run world record.
Just ridiculous.
Unfortunately, all of his
It's a
videos
shame.
were deleted, so we can't watch any of them today. But we do have an idea of what they looked like. Croc more or less revolutionized the game. Were there new strategies? Well, of
Sports
course
car.
there were, and he used them
came
to
up with
his
that.
full advantage. In 1-7, Croc used Carl Skip. Instead
Hang on, I'm gonna let this play out, and then I want to talk about Carl Skip.
of running over Carl, he simply reversed to the door and reset his car. The game's default reset point here is right at the door entry, so you respawn halfway past the door.
So, there's actually, I believe, 3 versions of Carl Skip. Carl Skip is the one that you guys saw earlier, where you run over Carl, and then there's Carl Skip, which actually isn't this one, but like it would be too complicated to explain in a video, only an hour and a half or 12 minutes. But Carl Skip is actually the strat I described earlier, where you park your car in the middle of the what's it called? No, wait, hang on. I've got it wrong. No, this is correct. Sorry, I'm wrong. This is correct. This is Carl Skip. Okay? And then there's a third one, which is called the skip that skips Carl Skip. And that's the one where you can turn the family sedan horizontal parallel to the door and have it face slightly on an angle that's towards the power plant. And instead of facing the way that the video is showing right now, you actually face forwards. So it's Carl Skip, and the skip that skips Carl Skip. But the third one is terrible and only saves like a quarter second. It's absolute garbage. Will there ever be a skip that skips the skip that skips the Carl Skip? Yeah, probably.
You can then continue reversing and make it all the way through.
Also, that was found
Faster
by
and more consistent than
Cyclone?
Carl Skip. Croc also switched vehicles for a couple missions. In 1-3, instead of using Homer's
Traffic
sedan,
car?
he used a traffic car that dealt more damage. Similarly, in 3-4, he switched out Mr. Plow for the school bus.
I want to just emphasize how terrible Mr. Plow was for that mission. So, the mission, in what we do now, we go down to Camp Krusty, which is just down here. We buy the school bus, and then we start the mission. Back then, what we used to do with Mr. Plow is we'd buy the school bus, run all the way out to this phone booth here, call Mr. Plow, and then restart the mission. And it wasn't even faster.
Another big one was in 4-1, a strat called Donut Fire. You're supposed to hit the donut truck 10 times and collect
This
the
was
items.
so
And the
garbage.
strategy here used to be letting it hit you 10 times. But instead, Croc began guiding it into
This
a
strat is
corner
not the
and
best.
then hitting it over and over. This was both faster and much safer than the old strat, as you get
The
rid of
traffic.
RNG when traffic gets in the way. But Croc's
Pain.
dominance was from more than just new strats. It's also because he'd raised the bar for his execution.
It was so
See,
good at the
Croc
game, man. He was
began
insane.
by grinding individual levels instead of full game runs. He got good at them, eventually holding every IL record in the game. This gave him a mastery of each individual mission that nobody else had. He was able to pick up minutes across the run just from better driving. He slowed down less overall and took cleaner lines. Croc lowered the record a lot in a short period of time. He'd pulled away from the runners behind him.
Unbelievable.
And he was undoubtedly the best player the game had ever seen. Sadly, a few months after these runs, Croc disappeared, taking his channels and videos with him. Today, it's impossible to watch any of his records. It's really too bad, because if he'd stuck around, he might have been able to prevent what happened next.
What do you guys reckon happened next? What do you guys think happened next? What happened? What happened next? Yeah, that's why Homer still comes in. Yeah, I'm playing KH2 again. What happened? I never saw that. Wait, is that really just titled "What Happened Next"? Nice. You hogging the title for 4 years? Try 7.
In late May 2017, someone finally broke through to take the record from Croc.
I have seen this video, but
I've
seen this video, but I've only watched it in like sections. I haven't sat down and watched the whole thing until now.
Someone finally broke through to take the record from Croc. Our old
ads running. I'm sorry, I put the minimum amount on so there wouldn't be pre-rolls. Pause for 3 minutes. I can. Do you want me to pause for 3 minutes? I can pause for 3 minutes. Just yap a bit. All right, well.
Friend WiFi's.
Okay, so yes, I got world record back here, but a bit of funny hit and run lore. Yeah, while we wait for the plebs, I'll yap for a little bit because I'm good at doing that. A little bit of funny lore. I actually got a time the exact same of Croc's, but it was slower by 0.2 of a second. And, so I think it was, he had a 132.52.4 and I had a 132.52.6. And, you want to know the reason why I tied? It's really funny. It's really, really funny. I was going to beat his time by 3 seconds. I then threw my controller on my desk. It hit my keyboard and pushed escape. While I was in the tractor beam. And I was like, no, and then I slapped escape, and I missed Croc's time by 0.2 of a second. It was so funny. Oh god. Yeah, ads only have 30 seconds. I've just paused it for the plebs. So then the plebs don't miss out on anything. Yeah, I set the ads to be only 3 minutes per hour because so it stops pre-rolls because pre-rolls fucking suck for everyone. I like how effectively this video communicates how stupid 80% is and how insane this game is to speedrun. I want to read out a message. So where's the server? Let me see. So we're talking about so the way this all got laid out, I've said this a couple of times, I'm going to say it again, is that Salt chopped it up into the chapters, which you guys see here, and we got to watch the chapters prior to sort of give feedback. And we were giving feedback, and he said, this is really tricky because there's so many strats, and he doesn't know how to include and how to include the right ones. And no, sorry, that's not what he said. He said he's never sure what to include and what to skip. He didn't like. Baby Van's very late into the video, and like there's so much that he could be talking about, but he just can't because it would make the video so much longer. I think that so I think this is his second longest video, only behind this one right here, Lego Star Wars, which was an hour and what was that, hour 31. All right, ads over. Ads are over. All right, let's continue. Yeah, he doesn't cover FPS, I don't think, which is like a whole different topic on its own. Or wasps.
This was his first record in more than 2 years.
Or ESS.
His new time was 132.
Completely fair. Like, there's so much. Like, you just can't cover it.
44.
Look at this
But in the
layout.
description,
Look at the
he
clean
said
layout.
lots of mistakes in this run. And there were a bunch of them, adding up to at least a couple minutes of obvious time save. But
I don't know how long the Tetris one
Croc
was.
had
Maybe
raised the
maybe
bar
I'm
for
wrong.
execution, and now Liquid had matched it.
Look how young
One
I
other
look.
thing Liquid said in the bar for
Look at the quality. Are we in 1080p? We're not in 1080. Oh, I have enhanced bitrate because I have premium. I love how it didn't make any difference to my camera. Yeah, back then, I think I weighed like 75 kilos back then. I'm now like 119, but you know, everyone gets older and fatter. That's how it fucking works. This is life.
execution, and now Liquid had matched it. One other thing Liquid said in the description,
Yeah,
I think
that video, so I think that video is actually just terrible quality because back then I think I was streaming on 700 bitrate. So it was yeah, it was barely watchable. I mean, watchable is all you needed.
Liquid had matched it. One other thing Liquid said in the description, I think sub 130 is possible.
Vapo being
Well,
like, no, it's
right
not.
around this time, LiquidWiFi began streaming full time, playing Simpsons
that
Hit and
doesn't
Run for
Look at how
several.
young I look. Oh my god. I look so young. Oh my god. I love how I was still wearing the white shirt even back then. I look so young in that. Jesus Christ. This is so weird to look at. Yeah, look at these lips. Jesus. Look at these eyes. Fuck. Now look at me. Here, look. Hang on a second. I'll look at me in comparison, you know? I look so much older. Look at how fat this face is. Also, I used to always have one headphone off. In fact, I still do that because I hate not being able to hear myself properly. It's so bad. Yeah, I reckon I look so much better now, honestly. You know, I think that, like, in terms of how... Like, I obviously am fatter. But I think in terms of, like, just how I look as a whole, I think I look so much better than I did back then. Like, this is, like, very young me. Get open ear headphones? Maybe.
Hours every day. And he got so
Oh yeah, this
good
was about the time I started
that he
full-time
took
streaming.
over our story.
Fuck, Salt's music choice for this video is so good.
Alright. Oh, dude.
Okay, you're gonna notice a trend here. You see how I PB by like 5 seconds every single time? This is gonna happen a lot. I very, very rarely PB by more than like 15 seconds. It's so annoying. It still happens. Oops, I did.
Oh,
Blue shirt!
okay.
Oh, white shirt. Never mind. Coat hangers! Let's go! What? CRT? Oh my god. Wait, did I really... That's still me. Nothing's changed in 7 years, man. Nothing's fucking changed. That from probably here till, I don't know, somewhere around here-ish is probably just going to be me. many
He set
PBs?
12
Fucking
records in
hell.
4 months. He took the record from 132
Coat hangers.
to a 129.44. How did Liquid do this? Well,
129
lots of
is
tiny
bad.
optimizations added up. He went for
I
a
actually
lot
think that
more
that-
car despawns from
Look,
previous
the cameras
runners,
are cut off.
helping his AI vehicles a bit more.
Are you sure?
He also
Salt
had a
isn't
new
paid
coin
shill
route.
for me? Well, I don't think so because I don't remember ever making a bank account transaction towards Salt. So my understanding is no, I don't believe I paid him.
Collecting the crusty loot
No, I
coins
definitely
in the
paid
middle
him, you are
of the
correct.
3-2 mission
Absolutely.
to skip coins later. And most importantly, Liquid had just gotten good. The leaderboard was pretty staggering. Liquid had a 129, Croc had a 132,
This
and
was kind of
nobody else had
ridiculous.
below a 135.
Like, that is just... I mean, if you look at the leaderboards now... Hang on a second. Let me get out full screen. Let me bring over the leaderboards. Like, it's actually not that much different now. Like, it is, like, it's different in a different... It's different, but it's similar in a very interesting way. Like, let me, So, if you look at the leaderboards now, you'll see that it's like, home is still 116, 117, 118, 119, and then like, so the top 4 are all sub 120, and then it's like 121s. So, it's very similar, but also very different, because it's actually still competitive. Just, it's actually really interesting, like, kind of how it's repeated itself a little bit. So, it's nice. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't be spoiling, you're right, I'm sorry.
How long could this go on for?
There's no PBs. Oh, big PB! There was one big PB! Where is it? Yeah! That's actually a sizable PB. I wasn't even living at home at this point. I was still trying to be quiet because what was working the next day. It just kept going. It just kept going. Fuck, the music. I've said it like 3 times. The music choice is so good. Is there one? Yeah, I think that Oh, I'll let this part finish.
Make
So, this was probably my most popular video on my channel is the 131 something, 131. That is like 500,000 views, and that's when a lot of people found my channel. So, across this era that Salt is currently covering is when a lot of people probably found my channel through YouTube.
Make it 18 straight records for LiquidWiFi. This man was unstoppable. Most of his improvement was
Still
just
am,
from
by the
getting
way.
better
Just
and
ignore the
better
fact
at
that
the
I'm third
game.
place.
He still wasn't at his full potential. And yet, here he was with a 3-minute lead over second place. Yes, Liquid was streaming full-time and playing more than anybody else, but he was also clearly the best runner by far. He'd taken over the game. This was his record now. And at this rate, with Liquid being this dominant, there needs to be some major change to the
Orc
run
was
for anybody to
Here
catch
at
him.
this time, right?
We've seen a lot of strategy improvements in the game already.
I think this might
Every
be
year
Orc.
there's been new glitches, destruction strategies, and more. But in late
Why,
2018, The Simpsons Hit and Run had perhaps its greatest strategy change yet. Level 7, the final level of the game,
we're doing out of
got
bounds.
completely overhauled. It's time to head out of bounds. First off,
Ah, I love this era. Oh man, I love this era. This is one of my favorite ever times playing hit and run. Honestly, this is the peak hit and run time for me because this was so fucking exciting. Was an out of bounds so controversial? If you mean controversial as in one person seriously opposed it because they thought it was cheating, but then also believed that time skip was perfectly fine, then yes, it was controversial.
what's the point of going out of bounds? How does it save time? Well, the main advantage is it lets you drive across the map while it's not loaded in. You can go in a straight
Out of
line
Bounds is
without needing
2018.
to turn or slow down at all. And level 7 is perfect for this, because most missions require you to go all the way across the map. You pick up waste on one side and drop it off on the other.
Why do they think it was cheating? To this day, I still don't know.
Next question is, how do you get out of bounds? Well, in
Yeah, it was
October
basically, I can't do
2018, Liquid Wi-Fi found this method. It looks crazy, but cars in Simpsons Hit and Run can essentially grip onto vertical walls if they touch them.
Alright, so what Saul said is true, but there's more context to it. Certain walls can grab onto walls. Cars can grab onto certain walls. So this is what's described as not a... I'm trying to think of how to describe it. So there's basically two types of walls. There's interior map walls where it's stuff like Krusty Lou Studios, some buildings, Android's Dungeon, stuff like that. You can grip onto walls, but anything that prevents you from going outside of the boundaries of the overall perimeter of the map, that can't be climbed onto, and also it's infinitely high. Yeah, fences are the map walls, exactly. So anything that's like the map boundaries overall, if that makes sense. It's pretty complicated to explain. This out of bounds, I put in a YouTube description that said, and I quote, "This is pretty easy. It should save about 30 seconds." I would like to tell you guys, it was definitely not easy. In fact, this was really fucking toxic. And it didn't even save 30 seconds. I think it saved like 15. It was pretty bad. It was so shit.
So, by crashing into the wall, Liquid's car bounced and the tires hit the vertical wall.
But yeah, it was
From there,
known...
he simply drove up the invisible part and made it over.
It was known that you could get over this, but only with cheats. So I was like, what if you could just like go over it, but without cheats? And then I started experimenting.
He later found a more consistent version, using the car's
This one was
back
so much
tires
better.
to contact the wall.
Oh my god. It's actually like that version is so fucking
From there,
easy.
it was
I don't know if
over
I
for
found that.
level
I think I
7.
did actually.
DJ Lambton found an out-of-bounds setup for 7.3 that involved climbing...
Shit strat boo! Fuck off, Liquid. Yeah, so I'm going to be pausing probably quite a lot through this, so I'm sorry if you hate me pausing, but I like to add things. This out of bounds is not bad to pull off and not bad to get on the wall. The problem with this out of bounds is the cages. Everyone who's watched my runs knows this. The cages are shit. What the cages will do... I wish I had like... Do I still have Epic Pen? Hang on a second. I think I do still have Epic Pen. I want to draw. I want to draw. I don't think I can actually show Epic Pen. Give me like 1 minute. I just want to see if I can. Okay, I'm just gonna get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of all that. Get rid of that. And I hope this doesn't like dox me. I don't think I have anything important on. I don't think it will dox me. Just making sure. Oh no, it's covering me. Fuck. No. And then I want to bring up the video. And do I have Epic Pen? All right, so if I do this, can you guys see it? You guys can see it. Let's go. Okay. All right. Cool, it worked. Yeah, thanks for the wallpaper. I like that wallpaper. So, leaked wallpaper. So So yeah, the cages here, this cage in particular is god fucking awful, but only on low FPS because of how the cars interact with walls on different FPS. When you are on 60, it goes really, really bouncy and things don't grip as hard because the collision is not happening as frequently. But if you're on like something like 200, please ignore that too. 200, then the collision of the walls is happening much more often, like over 3 times as much, and thus meaning that getting past this particular cage is a nightmare. It is so bad to get past the cage.
The walls of the power plant, Vapo found a similar setup for 7.5.
This one was way better, by the way.
And then Liquid found another in 7.7. And before they knew it, more than half of level 7's missions had an out of bounds. Combined, they saved more than a minute.
This was so
But they weren't easy to pull off.
Yep, Vapo
especially given that they're at the very end of an hour and a half long run.
I haven't watched this since the first time watching the whole thing.
There goes your whole speedrun. But Liquid felt he was up to the task. He began chipping away at his world record with these new tricks. Every few weeks he got a new improvement.
10-second PBs.
First getting a 127 and eventually a 126.
Oh, hey, a 140.
Ironically,
wow,
even though new tricks often open the door to new competition, level 7 out of bounds actually had the opposite effect. Liquid was the only runner with good consistency at them.
This is actually so true. I was the only one for a really long time to actually do all of the out of boundses because a lot of other runners found it very intimidating. Like Orc, I think, was the first one to really start, and then Bacon, but like it took a really, really long time to have the out of bounds actually be implemented for a majority of runners. Or rather, not even of majority of runners, like just for other people top level. So it was kind of insane that like that's actually a really true statement.
So he was able to better implement them, and his world record
and the fact that it was a final level made it a lot more intimidating as well.
Increased. It was now up to a whopping 4.5 minutes. His run of 126.23 to a whopping...
Did I really have that big of a lead over second place? Fucking hell. Oh my god. Oh my, I didn't realize it was over 4 minutes. We can't see. Hang on. There you go. That's kind of ridiculous. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Orc was using mouse and keyboard for a really long time. I don't think any top runner in the top 20 uses mouse and keyboard. But yeah, that's kind of crazy.
4.5 minutes.
Oh, KSFQ was
His
keyboard?
run of 126.23 was the first to hit all 4 out of bounds in level 7. And that was enough to satisfy Liquid. He got all the big tricks and had an enormous lead over second place. What else could he ask for? I mean, maybe he'd come back if more out of bounds were discovered, like a second wave or something, but there was no way that could happen. Liquid couldn't stop now. In mid-2019, he helped find another set of out of bounds in level 7.
Yeah, this was, so you guys, the old viewers, like who were watching during this era, probably would know, my hair is fucked, would probably know that 7.7 in particular was garbage. This era was actually quite bad for hit and run speedruns because the 7.7 bounce was really, really, really bad. So the this wave brought back a lot of people, and this was what really started to begin the transition from more people going inbounds level 7 to out of bounds level 7.
This time, he was going to be out of bounds for nearly the entire level. It's a pretty involved route, but the most interesting part starts from 7-5. Liquid put the waste in a traffic car, then left it and hopped back in a sports car he had waiting out of bounds. He then quickly drove straight to the school, and the waste magically appeared there. How? Well, since the game can only have 5 traffic cars loaded at once, it simply duplicates the traffic car with the waste as one of the 5.
This is such a cool
So,
strat.
once it shows up by the school, it's perfectly cloned from before, waste and all.
This is such a cool strat, but you want to know what's great about it? I never found this strat. In one of my PBs, it might have been the 127, got a YouTube comment, and it said, "Hey, don't know what happened, but I'm playing this game for the first time, and I picked up the waste in a traffic car, and then I switched out to the other car, and the waste wasn't there anymore, but it was sitting around in the traffic car." And I was like, "That's silly. What is that? Wait a minute, that's a good idea." That was my exact thought process. I'm like, "That's silly. Wait a minute. wait a minute." So, thank you to whatever legend commented that on my YouTube video. That was an amazing strat. Thank you.
Liquid then simply got in the traffic car and completed the mission. Finally, in 7-6, he drove to the power plant out of bounds while being careful not to load in any part of the map. Then he did an e-brake boost to make it past the bridge, collected the waste, and drove back to the school out of bounds. This 7-6 strategy was found by Barcode, and was huge because now you could avoid the painfully difficult 7-7 out of bounds.
Barcode saved Hit and Run. He saved it. Honest to God, if you made a video on level 7, Barcode would be the savior of level 7 in Hit and Run. He single-handedly fixed all of the problems with it with that 7-6 resets. It was insane. Granted, we eventually got rid of that and switched to Jump Zone. However, I don't know if it would have really got any better if it weren't for Barcode. He really did change a lot of stuff. Well, sorry, he didn't change a lot of stuff, but he had a massive impact just with that one thing that he found. It was so incredible.
The new route was about a minute faster than before, so Liquid knew what he had to do next. Get back to the record grind. In June 2019, he rattled off 4 records like it was nothing, achieving the first ever 124.
Let's go!
Then in September, he came back and took another minute off.
Oh,
he
look at that,
all the tricks into his run and grinded it down to a 123.37.
I love how I'm gradually just getting fatter and fatter and fatter. Like, you know, back here, I was probably 70 kilos. Now I'm probably about 100.
He was still in first place by a mile. No other runners in sight. This was getting ridiculous. LiquidWiFi was clearly the king of Hit and Run. And with nothing left to prove here, he once again moved on to other games and categories. And it was during that break that something amazing happened. Something that hadn't occurred in years.
What?
An event that people weren't sure was possible anymore.
What is it?
In early 2020,
Pelican!
LiquidWiFi got a competitor.
Pelican!
This is Bacon Man.
Sorry, my bad.
He started running the game about a year ago, and he had a meteoric rise, quickly becoming the best runner not named LiquidWiFi. But he always remained comfortably behind him, not a threat to his world record. Then suddenly in late 2019, he started improving again.
Bacon actually gave me quite a big scare. Like back then, I was really like driven by having first place and having a gap between first place, and then Bacon actually got gave me a huge scare.
126 became a 125, and then a 124 by January 2020. This was the first time that anybody had been within a minute of LiquidWiFi.
I was like, oh
and
no.
Interestingly, Bacon Man was already 43 seconds behind after level 2. Across the final 5 levels, he only lost 12 seconds to LiquidWiFi. And in the final 2 levels, he actually gained time. Bacon Man was the first person to approach LiquidWiFi's level. He wasn't quite there yet, but he was clearly on a collision course.
Pelican, you're mentioned in this video, definitely, just so you know. Yes, this was in the era when I had world record in every single category. That is correct.
Maybe this was it. A new era of hit-and-run speedrunning was finally approaching. One with actual competition at the top level. Nope. New world record from Liquid. New world record from Liquid. New world record from Liquid.
Yes, we did!
New world record from Liquid. New world record from Liquid. Hey, some new strategies in level 7.
Oh, that was a 7-4 jump.
New world record from Liquid. New world record from Liquid. New world record from Liquid. This just
What I love
kept
about this is the music in the background.
world record competition at the top of
Like,
hit
you
and run
go from this
speedrunning
music-
was
listen to the music.
finally approaching. One with actual competition at the top level. Nope. New world record from Liquid. New world record from Liquid. New world record from Liquid.
Yes, we did!
Oh, that's great.
New world record from Liquid. New world record from Liquid. Hey, some new strategies in
New
level
world record
7.
from Liquid. I sense a meme.
New world record from Liquid. New world record from Liquid. New world record from Liquid.
I sense a meme brewing here. I'm gonna be honest. I sense some form of meme format happening with this new sub sound. Dude, I should I should have it so whenever I PB, it's just Salt saying new world record from Liquid. Because you can make splits have certain sounds. I might need to do that after today.
New world record from Liquid. New world record from Liquid. New world record from Liquid. This just kept going. He was still the king, squashing any threat from other runners. And by the end of the year, the record was down to an unthinkable
That was me at peak fat.
120.
That is the fattest I've ever been. Look at how fucking tubby I am. Hey, that was COVID lockdowns, all right? It was everyone gained weight during COVID lockdowns.
2020. He was making a mockery of the leaderboard. This was 36 consecutive world records from LiquidWiFi. And the record had become very optimized. He was running out of time to save.
Approaching
But
sub
before
120.
he quit the game forever, LiquidWiFi still wanted to get one more
He's
record.
struggling.
The ultimate time in the
You know what's
Simpsons.
great about that shirt? You know how I know that I've definitely lost a little bit of weight since this time? This shirt is actually a bit looser on me now. I reckon I was really, like, way bigger than I thought that I think I am here.
Wi-Fi still wanted to get one more record. The ultimate time in the Simpsons hit and run.
Put it on.
We're talking about the
I think I wore it
sub
yesterday.
120.
Sub 120, everyone! Yes, here we go!
All of Liquid's world records, all of his domination, it all
Fucking,
led up
that's
to
so
this.
many records.
This
I'm a
would be his
degenerate.
crowning achievement.
Oh my god!
But it was
I never stopped to look at this. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my god. Dude, I need to go outside and touch grass. Yes, I am very aware. Thank you. I am very aware that the end of the video URL does in fact have KFC. I know. Thank you.
was not going to be easy. He needed to find a way to save 21 seconds over his current world record. And most of that
Hey,
potential
look, I'll even show you. Here's the link. Saying it says fucking KFC. Like, what the hell, man? Casino, thank you for the new Prime sub. I appreciate it. Thank you.
time save was in the first two.
Alright, hang on, let me go back a
But
little.
it was not going to be easy. He needed to find a way to save 21 seconds over his current world record. And most of that potential time save was in the first two levels. Level 1 had some recent new strategies, like
Plow
using
King!
the Plow King in 1.3 and the Bush strat in the tutorial.
You know what's really funny about Smithers in particular? We went from buying the Plow King and grabbing the family sedan to buying the Plow King and grabbing a traffic car to buying a Plow King. It took us 3 different strat iterations to realize, oh, the vehicle you're intended to use it with is actually faster. So
There was also a really cool new one in 3.7.
Oh,
By
yes.
pushing the limo to a precise spot, then calling in Mr. Plow, the two cars share the same collision area, and the limo is instantly destroyed.
Fuck, that's
These
such
time
a
saves
good
could really
strat.
help him. Liquid's goal would be to build some kind of a lead after level 2, then maintain it as best
That's
he
such a cool
could until
strat.
the end. And maybe that would be good enough for sub 120. In early 2021, Liquid embarked on his journey. On March
Am I
5th, he
joking?
got a
I've
run
got
with the start he
restless
was
leg
looking
syndrome.
for, a 16-second lead after level 2. He maintained his
Hey,
lead
you guys want to know
through
what's
level
really funny? So, I can tell you guys this as a definite 100% true fact. Salt did not message the chat for any reason other than I told him to please censor the chat so the motions messages don't show up.
3, and then he entered level 4. 4-7 is one of the most important missions in the run. You have to destroy 3 cola trucks as fast as possible, and each one has its own unique strategy.
Thanks for the resub. New world record from Liquid. Thank you for the resub.
If you miss a
Is that a
quick
golden Kappa hype train? I've got my fucking epic pen covering it. Oh, that is a golden Kappa hype train. Damn. We haven't had one of those for ages.
as possible, and each one has its own unique strategy. If you
I'm
miss
about
a
to get a
quick
lot of
kill,
money.
you could lose big time and potentially even lose the run. Liquid entered the Cola Trucks mission with an 18-second lead, and it went beautifully. He nailed all
Dude, this
3
Cola
quick
Trucks
kills
is kind of
into
ridiculous. I wish I could have. I wish I could have seen the split for this. 47-24. That's good by even today's standards, isn't it? What the hell are my splits? Hang on a second. Oh my god, there's a lot of subs. Holy fuck. I need all story missions. I think 47-24 is good by even today's standards. Oh, let me get the second live split off. Hang on a second. So that's my sum of best. Oh no, never mind. I got a 46. I'm getting them confused. Ignore me.
took a 23
Thank you all for the gifted subs and the bits. Holy fucking shit, there is so many. Oh my god. I've gotten a 4602 before. There is a lot of subs. Thank you guys very much. Enjoy your golden kappa when the hype train ends.
second lead into level 5. Things were looking good, but now he
Wait. You guys see that? Look at this. You see Sag?
23-second lead into level 5. Things were looking
Smiley face. That's a great edit. Holy fuck. Okay, there was a lot of subs and bits. There's so much to go through. Thank you. I'm not going to go through any of it individually because otherwise I'll be paused for like an hour. But I really appreciate all of you guys gifting subs. Thank you.
good. But now we had another crucial mission coming up. The
Armored
armored truck. On this golden opportunity, he had to get the strat.
Oh, yes, this is definitely spliced. You call. Are you kidding me? He included that intentionally. I'm so sure of it.
Opportunity, he had to get the strat.
Yes, this is definitely spliced. You caught me. The bastard included that intentionally. Fuck's sake. 100%. I'm very cool. It got me. Oh, the traffic car. Alright, that'll work.
He nailed it again. Liquid now had a 27-second
Thanks for the new
lead.
sub,
This
bigger
was
shooter.
sub 120 pace with 2 levels to go. Level 6 had a clean start, but then in 6-6,
I'm so sad.
mistakes began to creep in.
That is not
This
fast. This run was like really like I was like smiling under this run, but internally I was like, "Fuck, son of a bitch."
Oops.
Okay, well that's gonna affect the cycle. Very nice. I would like to stop losing time, please.
His lead
So
fell
you
to
can
14
kinda tell how I'm
seconds.
talking.
This still had sub 120 potential, but now there was no margin for error. And with the pressure fully on, he had to hit all of level 7's out of bounds. 7-2 went well, as did 7-4. This was alive. Liquid was on sub 120 pace. 3 more missions. Whatever he did now, just don't blow up the waist.
I don't know what happened. Sub 120 is dead.
This was such a tricky spot. You have to get enough speed to get the front of the car to bounce up, but too much speed and the waist explodes.
So when a lot
which
of
is
people here
exactly what
probably
happened.
actually have been
It
like,
lost
were acting
just
wrong.
enough time to cost him sub 120. The run finished as a 120.05. The grind continued for weeks. Liquid kept getting runs to level 7, but he messed up an out of bounds mission every time.
Level 7. I don't know what it is about level 7, man. I'm still not good at level 7. I'm so inconsistent at it. I even when I used to practice it a lot, I'm so inconsistent at it. But I choked level 7 a lot. Like, I think that there was like at least 15 runs that I lost in level 7. And like, oh god.
It's so tough when the hardest part of the speedrun is right at the end.
He's right. It's very... I should really move this. so I can actually like show my face. So he's absolutely right. But this is what I really like about hit and run speedruns is the fact that the game, you can play the whole game and then you have this absolute brutal gauntlet at the end. Makes for such a thrilling speedrun because you never know until the end if you're going to PB. I did not like this game much as an inbounds level 7, and I think the game is so like it's edge of your seat kind of game, you know? That's what's so good. It's like you're always at the edge of your seat until you drive into that tractor beam. And it's what makes it such a thrilling speedrun to watch, in my opinion.
Liquid pushed onwards, and a few weeks later, he got another shot. This one again had a good start, despite some minor slowdowns. The cola trucks went well, and now for perhaps the most important mission in the run, the armored truck.
I love how I have dignity in the background.
No!
That should work.
A car tried
car.
to prevent it, but Liquid still managed to trap the truck. He had a 3-second lead with time to save in level 7.
The release when you got into the beam for sub 130 is amazing. There is nothing better. I have done a lot of speedruns. I speedrun a lot of games. In my personal opinion, I think one of the most the biggest it's the only word I have for it. It's the biggest release that I have ever had is whenever I've PB'd and like drove into the tractor beam. It is so good. It's amazing. Like, there's no way to describe it. It is just so fucking good. Why did he censor all of the discussion in chat? Cummies. Boy, I wonder why. I can only imagine why Salt would have censored the chat.
Once again, this had sub 120 potential. First step, get 7-2 out of bounds.
Only 5 seconds ahead. Please, yo. Please make it. Okay, that's fine.
It was sketchy, but it worked.
Oh, boy.
He also got 7-4 out
remember
of
that.
bounds, but his lead was only 4 seconds. Not enough for sub 120. But he had time to
Thank
save
you,
in
Bridge. You
7-5,
saved the run.
if he could avoid blowing up the waist again.
Eat my nuts. I'm elite means.
Get up. Get up.
He did it.
Oh.
Liquid pulled further ahead,
I love how that barely
closed out
saved
the
him
last
time.
2 missions, and beat the game in sub 120.
Ah.
It was pure elation
Wait,
for
hang
a
on.
man who devoted his past 4 years to this game. This was the
ignore that,
run
don't
he'd been
worry. Sorry,
dreaming
move on.
of. All 38 world records had built up to this, and LiquidWiFi had finally made it. He'd done everything he'd wanted with all story missions, and
This is
this was the end
cinema.
of the road. For the first time in many years, Liquid stopped playing the category. He moved on to other ones, with his sub 120 as
Look,
his
I'm actually
crowning
visibly
achievement.
skinnier there.
Meanwhile,
Also growing a
Liquid's
beard.
top competitors were still well behind. Bacon Man was the closest with a low 121, and nobody else had below a
Yo,
123.
Gordo! Third place! Hooray! Dude, this is such a good video. I've watched like most of Salt's videos, and like, I know that I have a little bit of bias, because obviously, me and Shah, but this just, from a production standpoint, is so good. Like, he's actually done such an awesome job with this video. I'm so glad he chose
These guys
this job.
weren't really considered world record contenders, so there wasn't much hope of beating Liquid's 119. But maybe, given enough time, somebody could rise up to compete.
And then,
Well, let's jump a year later.
I didn't
Barely
touch ASM.
anything had changed. Bacon Man had lowered his time by 12 seconds, and that was about it. No world record threats in sight. And it was now the longest standing world record in modern hit and run history. Liquid was one of a kind. Others simply couldn't do what he could. And if he wasn't running the category, the world record was staying put. By mid-2022, he hadn't played
enjoy
all
your golden
story
cappers,
missions
guys.
in a year and a half. Unprecedented for him.
sub 3 grind was 2019. So this is well before sub 3. Oh, sorry, well after sub 3, I should say.
It had been part of his identity for years, and now he'd given it up. Liquid took a step back and evaluated what he wanted to do. He already had the 119, the ultimate hit and run world record, and yet he missed playing it. Liquid evaluated his options. He looked at his world record of 119 and
It was
said,
a shit run.
"Alright, fine. One more minute."
It was really not a good run.
In Liquid's mind, the 119 was about the achievement, while a 118 would be about the optimization.
See,
He'd
that is so true. That is such a huge, true statement. Like, the 119 really was like, damn, we finally got it below that 20. And then the 118's like, alright, we're gonna actually make it good now.
gotten even better over the last year and a half, and felt there was another minute he could squeeze out of the run. But where? Well, let's examine his 119.
I didn't
There
give
were only
up
a
after
couple of
118.
big time losses.
I
In
felt done at
2.7,
the
he
time.
got bad traffic that
for-
cost him 10 seconds. And in 5.6, he wasted a bunch of time by forgetting which coins to collect. But with cleaner
Did I really do that? Did I actually forget which coins to collect? Wait. I don't remember. It's how do you think? Not only like okay, fair. If you forget how which coins to collect, fair enough. How do you forget them in 5.6? Like how it's armored truck. How did I do that?
execution, there
I didn't mean to
were
push on
small
that,
chunks of time he could save all over.
Rewind.
But with cleaner execution, with 7, he got bad traffic that cost him
I
10
wonder if I had
seconds.
muscle memory for
and in
100.
5.6, he wasted a bunch of time by forgetting which coins to collect. But
What
with
coins
cleaner
I didn't
execution,
collect?
there were small chunks of time he could save all over. He missed items in level 3, certain destruction missions could be a
Did you
bit
see that
all
follow
over.
meter?
He missed items in level 3,
Oh,
certain
that goes so
destruction
low.
missions could be a bit faster, his out of bounds were a bit slow. When adding this all up across the run, it came out to over a minute of time save. 118 was technically viable, but this was going to take a monumental effort. His 119 was already an incredible run. He'd have to
Debatable.
duplicate it and capitalize on all the
He's
time
roasting
save.
you.
This
I love how chat's gone from, did you pay Salt to make this video to, Damn, he's roasting you.
He'd have to duplicate it and capitalize on all the time save. This was the sort of thing he'd chip away at over time, rather than get all in one shot. Or maybe I'm a big dummy.
Wait, I don't remember watching this. Wait, I don't remember watching this. Hang on. So I've seen parts of this video, but I don't remember this part. Did he add this part? Oh my god, what is this face? Oh my god, I remember this! Oh my god, what the heck? This was a ridiculous run at the time. I actually remember that. Jesus Christ! I actually remember this. Fuck. What's my current Bart 2 leave time? No, it's sub 120. Sub 110. Alright. Gotta focus up.
How about a
Jeez.
48-second lead into level 7? Liquid could not believe what was happening. I mean, he'd gotten everything. All the time save he was hoping for. If he could now play a clean level 7, he'd get a 118 right here, right now. This was the highest pressure level 7 of his life. The first mission is in bounds, and it went just fine. Next up, the 7-2 E-brake boost. He had to make it out of bounds here.
Oh yeah, you can see the funny red square. No! Oh, the memory. Turn it off.
He hit the corner of the crusty
The
burger
memory's
roof.
flown
It
back.
was enough to kill 118.
Oh.
He had to go out of bounds in 7-3 instead, costing him serious time. Liquid went on to hit the rest of the out of bounds and got a small world record, 119.45. But most importantly, he got a small taste of what could be. If he had hit the 7-2 out of bounds, this run very well could have been the 118. Perhaps getting it all in one shot was just too much to ask for. Instead, he was gonna have to grind this out the traditional way.
Something like 6 fucking 5-second PBs I think I got during 118 grind. Like,
On September 15th, he had a run even with the record after level 4. A great spot to be in. But in level 5, the time losses began. He had a slow 5-4, and in 5-5, a car got in the way of the truck so it couldn't turn on the
oh, this is familiar. I think this
expressway.
happened yesterday.
Level 7 mostly went well, but he initially messed up the 7-5 out of bounds. It ended
That's
as
right,
a
you guys
world
kept on
record
saying I
by
was drawing
10
for content,
seconds,
so someone
119.35. Weeks later, he had another solid start. A gold split in level 3 pushed him even with the record, and he was able to capitalize on a level 5 time save. 7-2 went
This is when
well.
I was suffering from really horrible migraines, and I had to wear glasses.
Another solid start. A gold split in level 3 pushed
helped a
him
lot.
even with the record, and he was able to capitalize on a level 5 time save. 7-2 went well, 7-5 went well, and then he messed up 7-6.
Hey, I think I messed up 7-6 something like 5 individual times.
Another small world record, but Liquid was struggling to get a clean level 7. On December 20th, he made it there again. This time he was faster through level 4, but got unlucky in level 5. Level 7 started beautifully. And then...
I thought I got stuck on the wall.
Another fail out of bounds, and another small world record. Liquid just couldn't get the level 7 he needed.
Yeah,
Something
this video came out
always
today.
went wrong. But fortunately for him, around the end of the year, another wave of new strategies were developed. The entirety of level 4 was rerouted, buying the inmate outfit sooner and changing which coins you pick up. And a runner named Bedge found a time save in 4-3 to collect the last ketchup packet quicker. But the biggest new strategy came in the final mission of the game. 7-7
Oh yeah, Bedge, this is
found
you.
a
You got
time save
mentioned.
in
Hang on a second.
and changing which coins you pick up. And a runner named Bedge found a time save in 4-3 to collect the last ketchup packet quicker.
I love how there's no way to say your name, Bedge, without making it sound like a Bedge.
But the biggest new strategy came in the final mission of the game, 7-7 Jump Zone, found by an annoying hamster. By parking your car in a precise spot, then exiting and re-entering it, the car gains jump zone properties. This gives it unlimited top speeds and bouncy physics. It allows you to quickly climb the power plant wall after collecting the waste, then drive out of bounds to the end.
This was amazing. This had actually been theorized for like 2 years prior to it actually existing, because we basically had no way to get jump zone without it losing shitloads of, or without it, we had no way of getting jump zone, because the only known way prior to this method was you had to park your car in the jump zone trigger and then push it out with another car. But if you get into another car in 7.7, then what happens is you fail the mission, because it's a forced car mission. You can't go into other cars because it's a failed condition. But we'll just continue on. I'll continue explaining in a second. But
a 20 to 25 second time save. So now Liquid had a bit
so he doesn't.
more
I don't know if he explained it.
spot, then exiting and re-entering it, the car gains jump zone properties.
Okay, so actually a perfect pause frame. So this is actually a very particular strat. I've actually used the pen for a second time. So we use this area sort of next to the road as a visual cue about where to park. The jump zone is something like here-ish. Like it's like a big cube, and Homer's basically getting out into the cube itself where the jump zone is active. Currently where we are parked, the car is obviously not in the jump zone trigger. But when Homer gets out of the car, he's actually registered as in the car until you have control over your character again. So you'll see that the animation, I'm going to try and like frame advance. So all of this, he's still registered as in the car, still in the car. So he's in the trigger now. So the car actually, the game thinks, hey, the car has jump zone.
Exiting
And ignoring the giant fucking box now, when he gets out of the car, it thinks that the car is out of the jump zone trigger, but because we didn't drive out of the jump zone trigger, the game doesn't detect that we've left the jump zone trigger properly, thus leaving jump zone on the car itself. It was it was actually like kind of crazy that got found, and Hamster I think spent 2 weeks finding a setup that worked for 7.7.
and re-entering it, the car gains jump zone properties. This gives it unlimited top speeds and bouncy physics. It allows you to quickly
also why
climb the
7.6
power
works.
plant wall after collecting the waste, then drive out of bounds to the end.
It is such a cool track, honestly.
20 to 25 second time save. So now Liquid had a bit more time to work
Yeah, you can do the same thing in bounds. It doesn't have to be exclusively out of bounds. There's actually a really easy setup, the one at the school. Look at these fucking glasses.
with. But if he couldn't get a clean level 7, it didn't matter. On January 8th, he got another record of 119.19. It had a good level 7, but a slower levels 3 and 5. He needed that level 7 on a faster pace. And on January 30th, he'd get that faster pace. Liquid had a 16-second lead. He had another shot. If he could get a clean level 7 now, this was 118. And things were looking good. He got 7-2, he got 7-4, he got 7-5, and he got 7-6.
I got it!
One more green split, and Liquid would have a 118. But Liquid didn't get a green split in 7-7. He got a gold split. His fastest 7-7 ever.
Yes! Oh my god! Finally! Let's go! Alright. There's something I got a absolute fucking cinema, honestly. That is so good. Salt live streamed this on his stream, and the entire chat was posting, "Let's go!" Because my bloody accent makes it sound like I'm saying "let's go." Yes! God damn, man.
After 2 years, Liquid had found another minute to squeeze out of Simpson's hit and run, above and beyond what anyone thought was possible. His hours of being stuck in level 1, his repeated fails in level 7, it all finally paid off. Liquid Wi-Fi had the 118, make it more than 40 world records in a row, and his leaderboard dominance had only grown. Now, he could celebrate and move on to the game's other categories once again, with the comfort that he was truly done with all story
after
missions.
this, I really didn't play.
But his
Not only did I not play ASM, I basically didn't play Shah for a year.
comfort didn't last long, because while he was still celebrating, just
and nothing else happened, and that is the end of the video. Thank you all very much for watching. It's time to do. It's now time to do speedruns. Fantastic. Okay, great. Nothing else happened. Nothing else happened. Nothing else happened.
hours after his 118, something happened. Something to make Liquid just a little unsure of himself. Later that same day as Liquid's 118, a player named Homer of Steel became the second ever person to get a sub 120.
This is the whole reason why, so, I have a confession to tell you guys. When was that world record set? Does that have a date?
Liquid had
1st of the 30th, 2023. I have a confession to tell you all. And I was pretty sure this is correct, but I just wanted to confirm it. Oh, there's an ad. Fuck. Do I need to take like a 5-minute break? Or a 3-minute break, rather. Just so the ad. Yeah, I need a water anyways. I've been talking a lot, so I'm just going to quickly grab a water, okay? I'll be back in a moment. Water. I have water. Why am I frozen? All right. So, I have a mild confession. And I think this is true. I just want to confirm that it's true before I get this information incorrect and I have myself mixed up. So this is a good time while the ads are playing to just confirm it. So where is this? Yep. Okay, it is true. I knew it. All right, ads have a minute left. How you guys liking the video? I'll talk about what I'm talking about in a second, but how you guys liking the video? I think this is incredible, honestly. I think that this video is so fucking good. I have said for numerous years that the biggest problem with a hit and run world record progression is simply the fact that I was so much of the hit and run history. And I think Salt, because obviously my era is about to end, I think Salt handled that incredibly. I think that Salt actually handled that so well. Because, like, the only way you can do it is the way he did it, where he just clicks through, because there's so many strategies that were found when I was in the 120s that it's just like, it's not possible to get all of them. So I think he handled it like perfectly. How does it feel to be a villain of the story? Dude, I've always said if I was an actor, I would love to be a villain. All right. The ads are over. I would like to have a confession moment. I got this time on the 30th of January, 2023. I got a message from Salt about the Shah video in March of 2023. I did not run Shah or ASM because I really wanted Salt to make this video. Plus, I think the competition is healthy for the game. So, I chose not to run ASM for a year for this video almost exclusively. Because I really think that this video would have been incredible, and I'm so glad it happened. You egotistical fuck. What do you mean? What do you mean? Okay, first off, the primary reason was I wanted the competition. That was like the number one reason. Second reason is this video. Because, yeah, he messaged me after I got my 118, like soon after I got my 118. I was like, please make the video, please make the video. So I chose to run Hundo and GTA. And I couldn't say anything. What do you mean? Get off your high horse. Yeah, it's definitely not the fact that I just suck at the game. You being bored was a lie? Okay, it wasn't a lie. I was actually kind of sick of the game at the time, but it was just another motivator. It was a very, very big motivator. It's not why I did GTA. I did need a break from Shah, but it's not the only, that's not the only reason why I did GTA. Yeah, so, hooray! I can finally be honest with the chat.
Let's go!
What are you doing for 3K
years,
subs?
Liquid had
Nothing.
found another minute to squeeze out of Simpsons hit.
Yeah,
run.
that's a really, really good way to put it. Is Salt messaging me about this video was a really good excuse to take a break. That's actually probably the best way to put it. I phrased it wrong in the first time. I apologize. Axie said it perfectly. It was basically an extremely good reason to take a break from Shah.
above and beyond what anyone thought was
But Homer
possible.
still is a beast. Like
His
he
hours
actually
of being
is
stuck in level
like
1,
really
his
fucking good.
repeated
I'm
fails in level
I'm
7,
not as good as
it
him.
all finally
I can
paid off.
comfortably say that.
LiquidWiFi had the 118. Make it more
Except
than
in Hundo,
40
where I'm currently
world records
beating
in a
his
row,
ass.
and his leaderboard dominance had only grown. Now, he could celebrate and move on to the game's other categories once again, with the comfort that he was truly done with all story missions. But his comfort didn't last long,
Like 160
because
to
while he
160
was still
is
celebrating,
insane.
just hours after his 118, something happened. That same day as Liquid's 118, a player named Homer of Steel became the second ever person to get a sub 120.
I didn't even care, man. I was like, I don't give a shit.
Homer of Steel played a lot of hit and run growing up. He always loved it and poured countless hours into the game. But in 2021, he found LiquidWiFi's Twitch stream and became obsessed
Yeah,
with learning
he
the
started speedrunning
speedrun.
it about this time
It
as
was
well.
a story like so many who start speedrunning. He found a speedrun of a childhood game and wanted to see if he could do it too. But Liquid's
Yo.
dominance of the leader
What's poppin', Ricky? I missed your message earlier. Hang on a second. I want to read your message, but I can't find it. Oh, he just said, yo, okay. Oh, I figured it out. Hang on a second. I thought that someone was replying to you. All right. Yeah, what's poppin', Ricky? Hope you're doing well, man. Yeah, I figured it out in the end. Yes, the French is entirely my fault. You're correct.
leaderboard was
I thought that said motion plays. I was about to fucking exit the video.
intimidating. 6 years on top, 45 consecutive records? How could anybody ever catch up? But Homer of Steel kept lowering his time, and as he got closer, Liquid's times began to seem a bit more realistic. On January 30th, he took his PB straight from a high 121 to a 119.53.
Which is ridiculous.
He was 23 seconds behind the record after level 2, and then lost another 30 seconds in level 7. But in levels 3 through 6, more than half of the run, Homer of Steel only lost 4 seconds to Liquid. If he could improve at the level 7 out of bounds, maybe he could finally be the person to challenge Liquid for the world record.
And yeah, like...
It took a huge grind for Homer of Steel to get to sub 120, and he took a break for a few months after this. But in May, he came back, determined to try and close the minute gap between himself and Liquid. Everything was in position for him to make a run at the world record, and he actually had a decent chance at pulling this off. But instead, right after he began playing, a new strategy was found that changed everything. This is the 5-3 baby van. You need to hit it 10 times to collect 10 objects, similar to several other missions in the run. But the baby van has one key difference. It has a 50-50 chance of either driving normally or driving all over the place in a crazy pattern. With normal driving, you can trap the car in the corner and get it.
So, so there's a lot of funny stories surrounding this stupid fucking thing. 1. We have had 2 reverse engineers, and if you don't know what a reverse engineer is someone who basically takes the game's code, pulls it apart, and tries to figure out why things happen. We had one reverse engineer who actually figured it out. His name's Eldolaro. He solved Baby Van, but we had a second reverse engineer. He was a engineer from Google. He did Baby Van for 2 weeks, said, "This is too complicated. I can't do this," and then proceeded to stop a terrorist attack in the United States. I am not kidding. I'm honest to God, telling the truth. That is legitimately what happened. Like, it is actually kind of insane. He stopped a terrorist attack in the United States, but couldn't figure out Baby Van. It's ridiculous. And then, so, to explain why Baby Van has this, it's very, 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 very complicated. But the simple answer is, and it's as simple as I can make it, and I still don't understand it fully myself, so I might get some things wrong. And Eldolaro actually has like a full video on Baby Van. I would like to find it real quick. Let me see if I can... I think that's his YouTube name. Yeah, there it is. So he has a full video explaining Baby Van from quite a long time ago, 5 years ago. It goes for 30 minutes. So it's very, 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 very complicated. But the simple answer is that it basically is a combination of 2 bugs that cause Baby Van to spawn either normally when it doesn't happen, or he spawns on a tilted angle, which causes his gravity to be more towards the back of the van, and that's why it causes him to spin out always by the back. You can kind of see it.
Crazy 50 chance of either driving normally or driving all over the place.
So yeah, you can see how the gravity of the back of the van is causing him to spin around. And that's what causes
you can
bad
trap
Baby
the
Van.
car in the corner and get a quick kill. But with tilted driving, this is nearly impossible. So you had to chase it down and hit it 10 times normally.
Just to emphasize, this was probably the single worst mission in the entire game for the better part of 11 years. It was horrible. It was genuinely like, the way he describes it is as a coin flip. You either basically got your run continued or it was absolutely dead. Baby Van sucks. Like, this route change actually really changed everything.
Lost a full half minute. For years, it was just a random coin flip. You either got lucky or your run was pretty much over.
Yep.
But in June 2023,
it's deep into the run. Baby Van is around 50 minutes into the hour and 20-minute run, so it's 2/3 of the way through, something like that. So yeah, it's pretty far through.
Modified a new strategy originally developed by a runner named Vapo. See, the Baby Van mission won't start unless your vehicle is the car built for Homer. So, you buy the car, then exit and reselect the mission to spawn in with your old car. By then waiting to call in the car built for Homer until you're right next to the Baby Van, the mission will start and you can immediately ram the Baby Van before it gets away.
And would you like to know another little bit of Shah lore? Is that I'm not kidding when I say about 2 weeks prior to this strat being discovered, I was on stream complaining about how terrible Baby Van is. This fucking mission sucks. And then, I can't remember who it was, some idiot in my chat's like, just find a strat for Baby Van. And I'm like, yeah, okay, you act like we haven't tried to find a strat, but when there's a strat found, I'll unban you. And then I banned him. And then 2 weeks later, this got found. I haven't unbanned that guy still. I just kind of forgot.
This was huge for the speedrun. Now, regardless of which pattern
so
the
good.
Baby Van gave, you could always get the quick kill. No more having to throw away half of your runs. Easily one of the biggest discoveries in hit and run history.
It really was.
And it
This
led
was
to
amazing.
a flurry of activity like the game had never seen before. On June 24th, Homer of Steel had a brilliant pace midway through the game. All the big missions had gone well, including the 3 cola trucks in 4-7. The new Baby Van strat worked perfectly, and he capitalized on a big time save in 5-7. After a good level 6,
I gotta keep it
he
big
was
for
actually
historical reasons.
ahead of the world record. It was about to happen so soon. If he could hold it together for
Very
one more
nearly happened
level,
so quickly.
he was about to dethrone LiquidWiFi. And then... he missed a cutscene skip. We haven't seen
remember
this
seeing
happen in
this.
several years. It's such an easy trick compared to the rest of the run, but under immense pressure, it's still possible to miss it.
See, this is the thing. He's not wrong. Like, a lot of people in the comments said that cutscene skip is not easy. Cutscene skip is the easiest trick in this entire game. But the problem is that there's 2 problems with cutscene skip. The first problem is, yeah, nerves. It sucks. And the second problem is you can actually pause too quickly. If you pause on the first frame of cutscene skip, it's called dead frame. It happens with every objective in this game. Whenever the game goes over to a new objective, the first frame of that new objective spawning in is always called a dead frame, where you cannot input any new inputs. If you're holding down accelerate, the game acts as normal, but if you try to pause or reset your car or do anything, it just won't register. Homer still runs with splits, but because of copyright, anyone with split backgrounds, which was Bacon, Kelvin, and Homer Steel, has to have their splits blanked out, unfortunately.
He lost 45 seconds, and then proceeded to play an excellent level 7, finishing with a 119.19. The missed cutscene skip ended up making all the difference. He was just one relatively easy trick from taking down Liquid. But
Pelicans,
Homer of Steel
splits?
wasn't the only
Maybe, I'm
player
not sure.
trying. Later the same week as his run, 2 more players achieved sub-120s of their own.
190, there we go.
12 Kelvin and Bacon Man, veteran runners who had long been just a bit behind Liquid on the leaderboard, got runs clocking in at 119.56 and 119.57.
If Bacon ran this game more than once a year, he'd probably have a 113. He's so good at the game, but he plays it like once a year. Like, it's he just plays Sly instead. Kelvin getting sub
The new
120.
Baby
That
Van
was so
strat
good.
had revolutionized the run, and coincided with runners making a big push to lower their PBs. The end result? Now 3 runners had joined Liquid in the sub-120 club.
This was so good.
For his part, Liquid was thrilled by all the activity. It had gotten lonely at the top
My
after
secret
all
is
these years,
revealed.
and he was excited to see multiple new record contenders.
I really was. I truly, honest to God, was really excited to see other people actually competitive. Like, seriously, like, I knew about Salt wanting to make this video, but like that was so good to actually see other people.
Made the decision to hold off on playing more all-story missions until somebody beat his world record. It'd be more fun for him to play from behind. So now it was inevitable that his world record streak was about to come to an end.
Also, yeah, I
It was
wanted to
a race
actually
to see
beat
who
someone that
would
wasn't
pull it
myself.
off first.
Wait, that sounds wrong. That's not what I mean. Okay. Don't. Do not. Shush. That's not what I mean. Stop.
On July 1st, Kelvin swooped into second place with a 119.10.
Oh my god. What?
What?
Holy sh...
This run fell 20 seconds behind the record after level 3, but from there he matched it all the way to the end. A few days later, Homer of Steel fired back with a 6-second PB of his own. At this point,
does my
these
PB
guys were
have
saving
51 in it?
substantial time in level 7 compared to Liquid's world record. Both Kelvin and Homer of Steel have been grinding it as an IL to try and get a sub.
Dude, I remember this IL grind. This has genuinely made the difference. Like, this is how both of them beat my time. Like, I'm awful at Homer too. I get like 820s. So, this IL grind that these two did made a massive difference. It genuinely made a huge fucking difference. I should probably do a similar thing with just grinding ILs to actually get better at the game. But I'm lazy.
8, so their execution at each out of bounds got really fast. Later in August, Homer of Steel had a run that pulled ahead in level 3 thanks to a very fast destruction mission. However, he had some slowdowns in level 5, including missing the new baby van strat.
Who misses the new baby van strat? I've never done that.
One level to go, he was 3 seconds behind the world record, but he knew he could beat Liquid's level 7. He had to learn from his mistakes in past
Yeah, I need to do like an IL grind of every single level except for like level 1. IL means individual level.
Homer of Steel's final time, 118.48, a new world record by 3 seconds.
He played
This was the
level 2
first time since May 2017 that Liquid was.
Man, I need to touch grass. I need to go outside and touch grass.
Wasn't the record holder. Over that period, he'd taken the time down by 14 minutes, more than 6 years of constant domination.
Yes, this is the
All
rise
reigns
and
come
fall
to
of
an end
Liquid
eventually.
Wi-Fi. This
and
was
Homer
so
of
good.
Steel's achievement was lauded by the community. It was surreal to see a new name on top of the leaderboard. So,
It doesn't have
what was
grass.
Liquid's
fuck.
response? Was
You're
he
right.
interested in playing? Well, everything quieted down for a few months. Nobody was sure if Liquid was planning to come back, or if he was just done with the category. Homer of Steel's record
I
was
actually, like, even though Homer still beat my time, I actually was done with the category. I felt pretty done with the category for quite a long time. I really did have a lot of fun with GTA. And New Smithers sucked. That was awful. Yeah, we were doing GTA 5 at that time. We were getting Australian world record in GTA 5. Which we had, and then, you know, some nerd just has to come along and be like, hey, I have a now sub-6 time. Great. My world
great,
record
but
gone.
it did have room for improvement, especially on the baby van. And under the pressure of world record pace, he didn't play level 7 as aggressively as he could have
I'm running
either.
ASM after this
But
video
even
is
though
done,
there
just so you
was
know.
some
Yeah.
time saved,
So I've
the
been running
community
ASM for a
stayed
bit.
quiet. Nobody wanted to make a move.
Kelvin could have
Finally,
this time.
in late
I get that Kelvin
2023,
wanted to
activity
get
picked up
world
again.
record, but, like,
A
I
massive
wish he
push
kept
for the
grinding.
world record.
I don't know if he, like,
And what
has
we've
viral
had
stuff.
over the last year of hit-and-run speedrunning is a battle like we've never seen in the game's history.
ASM stands for All Story Missions. The skirmish.
3 contenders began playing for the world record, each one formidable in their own way. The first contender was the current record holder, Homer of Steel. Even though he held the record, he wanted to hang on to it and begin his own long-lasting reign. The second contender was LiquidWiFi. He knew the record left time on the table and felt that with his experience, he'd be the one to save it. The third contender was Kelvin.
Oi, bruv!
He contended for the record right alongside Homer of Steel, and although he was narrowly beaten out, Kelvin felt he had what it took to get it. That's 3 contenders: the record holder, the past champion, and the up-and-comer.
The record holder, the up-and-comer, the washed up.
It seemed like Liquid and Homer of Steel were the 2 favorites, given that they'd actually held the record before. But as the runs played out, Kelvin was looking pretty good. On December 30th, Kelvin had a decent run going, but had a very slow first cola truck destruction. Luckily, he could save time over the record's baby van, and he capitalized
I remember
on it.
this Kelvin run, man.
His pace
This
was
was
very
ridiculous.
close with the record, and by the
Bruce
time he
killed us
reached
so
level
much
7,
time.
he was just a few seconds behind.
43 seconds ahead.
If he could play...
Look at those splits. 40...
By the time he reached level
43 seconds ahead after Lisa. That's insane. And then, like, that's a 15-minute march. He got absolutely ruined in mid-game. I remember this.
7, he was just a few
I
seconds
wish Kelvin
behind.
got world record.
If he could play a bit more aggressively than
He
the
deserves
record
it.
here,
He grinded a lot.
he could save some time and take the top spot. Level 7 began, and Kelvin was hitting
Oh, do I have the golden
everything.
cap? Hang on.
Good driving, good out-of-bounds setups.
Yes.
He was in position to pull ahead of the record. And then...
Man,
I've done that many times. A couple
he
of
hit
times
an
before.
invisible wall while out of bounds.
Yeah,
The
Kelvin's
waist
doing
blew up,
ILs at the moment.
and it
He's going to
was all
come
over.
back to speedrun soon.
Just one tiny mistake in level 7 can completely destroy your run. But Kelvin was still feeling it. A short while
I remember
later,
that.
he
It
managed a
hurt.
nearly
It hurt.
identical pace, about 10 seconds behind the world record going into level 7. Once again, with fast execution, he'd be able to pull ahead. First step, make it out of bounds in 7-2. No problem. Now, avoid hitting the invisible wall again. He got that too. So far, so good. A few
Just seeing you appear on a Summon Salt video. Wait, you're watching it.
few more missions to go. Next up was 7-4 out of bounds.
That's good.
Nice. Nice.
He made it. Pressure was mounting. Then 7-5 out of bounds.
That
That doesn't even...
He
You know what's
blew
crazy
up
about...
the waist again.
You know what's crazy about this one? It doesn't even look like he's going fast. That's what like I actually remember watching this. I'm like, wow, that's kind of ridiculous.
Mounting.
Doesn't even look like he's
Then
going that fast.
7-5 out of bounds.
Like I feel like that's a bit of
sucks.
a rob.
He blew up the waist again. Too much speed while
Because
backing
it's
up.
side of the door. I
World
mean,
record
maybe,
was dead, but
like that's the
maybe he
reset
could
that
still get a
Cringe came up with, I
small
think.
personal best, as long as he didn't blow up the waist again.
That's
This was becoming a pattern for Kelvin. He was getting runs to level 7 just like any record contender, but time and time again, something went wrong to kill it. It's tough when the game's hardest level is right at the end, but it's what you have to overcome if you want the record. On January 22nd, Kelvin found himself in a familiar spot,
Yeah, like
a
38
few
seconds
seconds
ahead
behind the
again out
record,
of Mars.
one level
Crazy.
to go. And this time, it all went well. He didn't blow up the waist, he didn't miss any out of bounds, he played a clean level 7. But he still missed the record. Kelvin just wasn't quite aggressive enough through the level. He just
I
wanted to
wish
get
he hadn't
through it and
gotten
take
it,
a new
man. I feel
personal
so
best.
bad.
So he did. Now all 3 top contenders had a 118.
Like that's a
and they were-
crazy. Like look at that. Going from I'm trying to find it, like whatever that is, to that is just it's so cool.
all
Like,
trying to break through.
it's awesome to see.
A day later,
Yeah,
it was
a
Liquid
year ago
Wi-Fi's
before that
turn
would've
for a
been
chance at the record.
awesome.
He exited level
Would've
4
been
with a
a
15-second deficit, but as we know, there's time to save over the record's level 5. Liquid capitalized on it, nailing the baby van strat, the armored truck strat, and everything else. Now, instead of being behind, he had a 20-second lead over the record.
Well, this has potential.
Once again, this was going to come down to level 7.
I really haven't changed
First
at all
up,
in like
7-2.
7 years.
A good start. Liquid now had a 30-second lead. Next up, 7-4.
I barely improved my PB in like 2 years. I need a PB.
It worked. Liquid was still 30 seconds ahead of the record. Now, he had to get 7-5.
That's fine, as long as I get it next time. God damn it.
That hurt. His lead was back down to 20 seconds. Still in there, as long as he could get 7-6.
I can't. I can never get them. Probably dead.
Ouch. Liquid had to get a backup, and he lost another 17 seconds.
What's up, Listerito?
But this still left him with a small lead.
I love this video
and
so
with
much.
a clean
This is so great.
7-7, it was just enough to take the world record back from Homer of Steel.
Lovely.
118.41. Liquid
so
was
bad at
back
this.
on
I don't
top,
know what's wrong
where he'd
with me.
been for so many
Easiest
years.
out of bounds.
Homer of Steel had briefly taken it, and Kelvin put up a good fight too. But at the end of the day, Liquid was still too good to be stopped.
Yay! Let's go!
Fight too. But at the end of the day, Liquid was still too good to be stopped.
Look at that! We beat the French, boy! We beat the French! Yay!
So, how did our other competitors respond? Well, Homer of Steel kept going. He was determined to not be a one and done, to prove that he belonged on top of the leaderboard. But beating LiquidWiFi was always a tall order. I mean, this was the same guy who set 45 records in a row. Sure, Homer of Steel beat him once, but now he was back in second place. The big question was, did he have what it took to beat him again?
Nope, and that's the end of the video.
Here's a good benchmark. Liquid's record had a 110 flat split going into level 7. If Homer of Steel could be close to that, he could save time over the level 7 mistakes and beat the world record. So somewhere in the 110s was a good time to shoot for. And on the very next day after Liquid's record, Homer of Steel had a run make it past level 6. His split was 109.12.
Is that faster than your current PB, Homer? Like, is that like the best run you've ever gotten? Is that kind of pace, or if you had a better time leaving? Because like that's just like a ridiculous time. Let me have a look. I'm actually interested. I want to see what your Bart 2 time is in your PB. Oh, it's a 108.36 now. There you go.
Okay.
It was a dream run. Homer of Steel had gotten everything. The destruction missions, all the different tricks,
This run
everything.
was
Virtually no
sad
mistakes.
to see.
This was somehow on pace for a 117. Chat was losing their minds. Even Kelvin was there, and he couldn't believe what he was watching. Surely, something was gonna go wrong to kill this. But he began hitting all the out of bounds. He kept his pace. Just please
What the
don't blow up the
mango?
waist.
Why? No. Oh, pain.
What? Please.
Do you know what caused this? Like,
What? Please. Oh no.
like obviously that one was
game.
the car blowing up, but the
I want
other
to
two,
cry.
like, I want to watch it again. Sorry, I'm gonna watch it
Please,
again.
please.
Don't blow up the waist.
So like, it looks like that you're not going too fast. You must have been letting start accelerate.
What?
It's so
Please,
unfortunate.
What? Please.
Watch this for
Oh,
20
no.
minutes. Yeah, it's mostly nerves, I'd imagine. I think we might need to watch it one more time.
I hate this game. I want to cry.
Oh.
I can't do this trick.
It's alright, your PB is better than this one. Jeez, bro.
That's 8 times he blew up the waist. He just couldn't do it. And the best pace the game had ever seen was gone. The 117 dream
That run,
was dead.
I was
But in
watching that run, I
speedrunning,
was
you
like,
can't
damn,
dwell
that's
on your
so
mistakes.
fucking shit,
You have
Jesus.
to pick yourself up and keep trying. That's exactly what Homer of Steel did. And a few days later, he had another good run. he had a lead over the record going into level 5, then hit the baby van strat. Things were looking good. But then, a complete debacle happened in 5-5. He managed to get his car stuck on a slant midway into the mission. The car wasn't budging, and he wasn't able to get back inside. So to wedge it free, he had to go get another car and repeatedly hit it to try and dislodge it. It eventually worked, and he was able to proceed with the mission, but not before it. He wasn't budging, and he wasn't able to get back inside. So to wedge it free, he had to go get another car and repeatedly hit it to try and dislodge it. It eventually worked, and he was able to proceed with the mission, but not before losing a full 30 seconds. This was a bizarre time loss.
If this image... Actually, sorry. It
eventually... and he wasn't able to get back inside. So to wedge it free, he had to go get another car and repeatedly hit it to try and dislodge it.
If this if this one image does not perfectly sum up Simpsons hit and run speedrunning, I don't know what is. I don't know what will. It is so typical Simpsons hit and run. It is so funny.
It eventually worked, and he was able to proceed with the mission, but not before losing a full 30 seconds.
Oh god.
This was a bizarre time loss, but here's the crazy part. Homer of Steel made it to level 7, hit all the out of bounds, and still set a massive new world record. 1:18.11, beating Liquid by half a minute. If he hadn't had the 5-5 time loss, this run would have been well into the 117s. Homer of Steel had turned into a monster. His competitors weren't able to get paces like this. He'd pulled away from both of them.
By the way, he has IL record for basically every single IL at the moment, and every single main category record except for
Homer of Steel set his eyes on a new goal. He wanted the first 117 in hit and run history. The blueprint was simple. Just duplicate the last record, but with a cleaner 5-5. And 6 days later, that's exactly what Homer of Steel did. He had a small lead into level 5, got the big time save in 5-5, and maintained from there to the end. 117.41, the first 117 ever, and a full minute ahead of second place. Homer of Steel hadn't just won the world record battle.
It's over for
he completely run away with it. These were times that his competitors weren't even approaching. How had he gotten so good? Well, it was a lot of little things adding up. He was just a little bit faster at executing the hard tricks. His driving was just a little bit cleaner. Perhaps he saved 1 second on average per mission. Well, across 50 missions, that starts to add up. And that's why he was able to save so much more time. Even though Liquid had several years of head start, Homer of Steel had come along and surpassed him. So now,
you want to know what's really fucking funny about this graph? You see Homer of Steel's world records, how they go down quite a bit. And then you see my records, how it's like dot, 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 small dots, small dots, small fucking, like 5 small dots. It's like, he beat me by like a minute and a half in this amount of time. And I beat by like 10 seconds in this amount of time.
Steel had come along and surpassed him.
I always do that too, it's so annoying.
And instead of playing all story missions, the top competitors moved to play the game's other categories, like 100%, where Liquid Wi-Fi had been able to hold off Homer of Steel.
Let's just take this image in. Isn't it good? Isn't it good to look at?
All story missions had little activity. Liquid just seemed unable to catch the 117.
Yeah, he's probably gonna be my time.
Once
100
again,
times are very good.
There's someone we're forgetting about.
Yay! Kelvin!
Kelvin had still never gotten the world record, and it wasn't for lack of trying. He'd had more than his share of runs into level 7.
We want
but they
Kelvin
hadn't
to make
panned
a
out,
comeback.
and now that the record was down to a 117, he remained in a fairly distant third place. But maybe now that his two competitors were distracted, this was his chance to make a move. On June 16th, Kelvin got a 118.38, just beating out Liquid for second place.
God, I'm so
And the
washed.
very next day, he got on another run. Kelvin was deadlocked with the record into level 3. He lost some time in 3-5
Wait, what
when
the
Sticks
fuck?
deadlocked with
Hang on,
the
watch
record
this.
into
Look
level
at this car. Ready? You watching the car?
3. He lost
What the fuck? Does that happen a lot? I don't think I've ever seen that happen. That always happens? Really? I don't think I've ever seen that happen. What the fuck? Huh. No, I don't think I knew that. Okay.
lost some time in 3-5 when
Okay, I
Sticks'
guess
car
I just
jumped
don't
the
pay
bridge
attention.
before dropping the last item.
I feel like it never
making him have
desports
to
with me.
backtrack. He also lost a bit on the second cola truck in 4-7. Kelvin was now half a minute behind the record. But from there, he kept it remarkably close. He got the baby van, the armored truck, Skinner's car destruction, all just like the record. Finally, he made it to level 7.
Come on, Kelvin.
And he nailed all
I know
the
how
out
this
of
ends,
bounds,
but come on,
with
Kelvin.
even quicker setups than the world record. The run finished as a 1:18.07.
Yeah, Pelican comes in at about 1:13 on the time.
I'm insane. What?
The only difference between his run and Homer of Steel's were unforced errors in levels 3 and 4. But beyond that, his execution was just as fast. Even faster in level 7. After several months of trying, Kelvin was once again
This was
on
really
a collision
exciting.
course with the record. One more improvement without the big mistakes, and he would finally reach the top of the mountain.
It was
But
so
it was all a
exciting to watch
mirage,
this.
Because Homer of Steel saw what was happening, and he wanted to stop it. So he began doing attempts again, and a few days later, he did this.
Yeah! Dude, the music is so good in this video. Fucking hell.
Homer of Steel had somehow squeezed another minute out of the run. Virtually the only slowdown was missing the Curator destruction in 5-7. He got a quick
Yeah, this
backup
run is
and
like
lost 10
super strong.
seconds.
I know
Other than
Homer
that,
still says it's
a familiar
shit, but
story.
like it's
He
genuinely
simply
like
nailed
quite
everything,
amazing
hitting
overrun.
trick after trick throughout the game. He now had a 1:16 when no one else in the world had a 1:17.
1:15 is probably doable.
What
but,
Homer
like,
of Steel
the run
has
is
done to the hidden
really
run
good.
speedrun is nothing short of remarkable. Compared to where the run was just a year ago, he's elevated nearly everything. He's brought the record down by 2 full minutes with essentially nothing
Yes,
new.
he first tried
He's just
5-1.
pulling time out of thin air, finding tiny
Freaking speeding
optimizations to
England, what
play
else is
better
new?
and better. This is well illustrated through the sum of best gap. A player's sum of best is adding up all their gold splits, their 50 fastest individual splits.
This is the reason why Kelvin and Homer are both better than me now. Is because I didn't practice IELTS. I basically never have. I'm lazy as fuck. I just grind out runs. These two do IELTS, and they stay as close to the sum of best as possible. My sum of best difference is about 5 minutes.
During the 1:18 era, the gap between the record and his sum of best segments was 4 minutes.
Yeah, mine was nearly 5.
But now, Homer of Steel has shaved a full minute off that gap.
And that's
His
it's because
execution
of
in
practice
runs
in
has just
IELTS.
gotten that good.
I need to practice. I really
Can other
should.
runners catch up to him? Well, in the months since, both LiquidWiFi and Kelvin have set new personal bests.
Beat me by
But
12
they both-
seconds in 3 years. Or 2 years.
both remain more than a minute off the record. They're more competitive with Homer of Steel in categories like 100%, but he seems to have a strong
100%.
stranglehold on all story missions. That being said, we've seen this before in The Simpsons Hit and Run. Someone seems so far ahead, surely there's no way anyone will catch up. But it never lasts forever. Someday, someone will dethrone Homer of Steel. And as it so often does, history will repeat itself. Thanks for watching. For a behind-the-scenes look at how I made this video and
that
storylines
was
that I
so
couldn't
good.
include, join my Patreon page. I only charge when I upload a video.
God
Thanks.
damn. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I know that as I said, I have a bias because it's Hit and Run and it involves myself, but that production quality was so good. Like, Jesus Christ. I think that that was amazing. Whereas Wasps explained, good luck.